administration relieved me of forgave all my debt,
You
$135,000.
kidding me?
My debt's like 33,000.
God bless you.
So God is.
Bless America.
Wow.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Thank you. What a blessing. What a blessing. Hey, Lisa. About 12. Yeah. At the latest.
We have the sandwiches ready. Watch you sandwich. And if you haven't signed in, please sign in.
All right. All right. Morning. How are you?
Good morning
Good.
again.
How are you?
Hey, good. Tell me where you say you thought that bakery, that industrial bakery is again? I mean, I'm
This
putting
one
it
over
on.
on Give us another day to start a new journey. Father, thank you for the fellowship. Thank you for the people that are here, the students. We pray there's something to be said this morning, Father, from the teachers that the students can use. Father, we pray that the students take their information and put it into action. These blessings we ask your son in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, good morning. You guys had a break from us, all right? Well, listen, we're excited to be here for this last class. Hope you guys are going to get something out of this. The class runs from about 9 to about 12. I guess we'll take a break again about, 9:15? 10:15? Yeah. We'll do a break about 10:15 or so, give you guys another break, and we'll come back and get started again. But this class is based around understanding money, understanding how to hire your money. We've talked about a lot of stuff over the last 5 or 6 weeks. We talked about cash flow, generating cash flow so you can do some things with. Can anybody tell me what is cash flow? You guys, 4 or 5 weeks, what is cash flow? Money left over after your expenses. Now, when you do all the expenses, you also include your variable expenses, right? And variable expenses is what you spend excess money on outside of your bills. Variable expenses like when you get your hair done, get your nails done, go to the barber shop, buy grocery. All those things are variable expenses that should be factored into your monthly spending plan. Make sure I want to be real clear on that, because when you set your monthly spending plan up, it has to cover all the money that goes out of your household, okay? And when you factor in all those numbers, what's left over is called cash flow. Everybody got that? Good deal. Now we're going to talk about how to use what you currently have. This is going to be a kind of a beginner's class. We're not going to get really deep on some investment stuff, but we want to get deep enough that you can go back to your jobs. You can go to Charles Schwab or Fidelity and open an account. We're going to get that deep where you can call those guys up and open your own account. Is that good enough? All right, let's get started. Like I said, I'm Charles Thomas, managing partner at Waterstone Financial Partners. Been doing this for about 35, 36 plus years. If you want to reach me, my email is Waterstone. Well, my website is waterstonefinancialpartners.com. My email is cthomas@waterstonefinancialpartners.com, okay? My phone number is 501-263-8840. I'm going to give you my name, my numbers, and all that kind of stuff, because if you want to call me and come in and have a conversation and kind of see where you are financially, we can help you start your roadmap, okay? I tell most of my students after this class, come see me for a couple of times. Doesn't cost you anything. Just come sit down, let's talk, and find out where you are and see what can help you. So take advantage of that. The reason I give that out, because nobody never uses it. Go ahead, Lisa. The office number is 501-263-8840. Office number, okay? All right, let's get started. Let's see here. All right, this is kind of where we are. We started at number 1 up there, financial planning tools. Number 2, 3, and 4. We covered all 4 of those areas in the earlier classes. This class is about 5 and 6, investing, stocks and bonds, and understanding your retirement plans. Now, most people like to start their investing off like this. Y'all see what that looks like? Now, you think that would stand up very long? So we want people to start here, because if you notice right here, where it says managing risk, you see that it says managing risk? We covered all of this stuff in the last 4 or 5 classes. Before you can start investing, these things have to be in place. You got to have your life insurance, your critical illness, your disability protection, your debt elimination plan, your emergency fund, and your estate planning on the will and power of attorney. So Charles, why is that? If you don't have these things in order, all you're going to be creating is something called a put and take account. Put the money in, take it out. Put it in, take it out, because if you don't have this foundation in place, the money will never get a chance to take traction and grow, okay? So make sure all those things are in place first. So a good financial plan is a written financial plan which creates a solid foundation. And that deals with your goals and things of that nature. We'll talk about that. Most of our content today will be about foundational concepts, investment terms, understanding dollar cost averaging, values and investing, some live online views for question and answer, and we're going to be closing. So this is important. I need some feedback on this. What is financial literacy to you? What does financial freedom mean to you when I ask you that question? What does that mean?
It's being aware of your expenses and your spending,
Being aware of expenses, spending.
and becoming educated so you can make better choices.
Education. Okay, good. That's good. Anybody else? Lisa.
Financial freedom to me is just to be able to stop living paycheck to paycheck.
To stop living paycheck to paycheck. Okay.
That's a start.
Okay. Good. Anybody else? Over here.
Financial literacy is understanding my money, what I contribute and what it can do for me.
Okay. Understand the money, what it can do for her. Over here.
I was technically not knowing it, but actually putting some plans in place as well.
Not knowing but putting stuff in action.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's a combination of awareness, knowledge, skill, attitude, and behavior necessary to make sound financial decisions. I want you guys to get that. The most important word up there is behavior necessary to make sound financial decisions. So why do we need financial decisions? Why do we need financial literacy? Well, You need the knowledge. If people don't have the knowledge, they develop bad habits. Would you agree? So when you get the knowledge, you're supposed to what? Develop what? Good habits. All right. Financial freedom, really, guys, is just being in a position where if you really don't want to work anymore, your money go to work for you. That's real financial freedom. Everybody got that? Your objective, it's a pretty young crowd in here, your objective, when you get ready to retire, is to make sure your money is working for you. So, Charles, how's my money going to work for me? Well, you need a pile of money. You need a pile of money that's drawing interest, that's paying you every month or every year. Or secondly, you need to have gotten rid of a lot of debt. It's real important when you get this. If you're working right now, let's say you're bringing home $4,000 a month, and let's say your debt right now is $2,500 a month, right? When I say debt, I'm talking about the house, the cars, the credit cards, and all that stuff. I'm not talking about your food, gas, and that stuff. I'm talking about your debt. But let's say you get ready to retire, and the $4,000 a month goes down to $2,500 a month. It drops off. How can you still have a successful retirement with you lost $1,500, we're down to $2,500, you were bringing home $4,000, how can you still have a successful retirement? By planning? Okay. You hear what she just said? The debts are down. Write this down on your paper right now. Write $4,000 down on your paper. $4,000. And up under that $4,000, write $2,500. Everybody got that? Now, what's the difference in that? $1,500, right? So you got $1,500 left over, right? So what if we could pay the house off and some credit cards? What if we could pay $1,500 worth of debt off? What would that do to your lifestyle with that $4,000 a month coming in? That's money you can invest. But more importantly, this is the most important part you got to get about this. If your income dropped down to $2,500, you were spending $2,500 on debt, you got rid of $1,500 in debt, your lifestyle didn't change. Did y'all catch that? The lifestyle didn't change because the money you were not servicing debt with anymore, you don't need it. Everybody got that? So it's important, if your investments are not in place, get your debt in place because it's just like an investment. When you invest in your debt, that money goes away and you give yourself an automatic raise. Wherever you are right now, whatever you're paying in debt, if you make that debt go away, you just gave yourself an automatic long-term raise without even investing. Just paying down the debt. Any questions concerning that? Good deal. Misconceptions about money. Well, I can't pay my home off in 8 to 12 years. There's no way to get double-digit returns in the investment world. I don't have enough money saved. Insurance is an investment, and term policy is a waste. Not understanding those things. You can't be totally out of debt, including your credit cards, student loans, and all that stuff in 8 to 12 years. I can't buy a home because I had bankruptcy. Stock market is too complex for common people. Don't have enough time. All those are misconceptions. Every last one of those conceptions right there, I've seen them come to true. I've seen them come true with people inside this church. You can buy a home after bankruptcy, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? May take you 2 or 3 years, but don't be afraid if you get upside down inside your finances to file for bankruptcy. It's called giving you a new start. Okay? Using the debt snowball program. The average person can take $100 a month, no more, and start paying their debt down and have all their debt paid off in 8 to 12 years. The mortgage, the student loans, the credit cards, everything you got can actually be paid off. So if you're spending $2,500 a month in debt, and you pay all that stuff off in 10 or 12 years earlier, you got $2,500 a month to do what with? Invest. And if you invest that $2,500 a month over a 10-year period, You just grew yourself to $250,000 to $400,000 of money that was earmarked to go toward debt. So you got to change your mindset. Got to change your mindset. These things are misconceptions. Well, financial literacy is understanding what saving and investments, what's the difference is, the three pillars of investment, impact of inflation, understanding need versus wants, time value of money, the power of compound. We're going to talk about this, price of procrastination, rule of 72, risk versus return, and diversification. We're going to talk about all these fundamental things, and this is where you got to get your notes down. This is what's going to help you understand how to invest. Saving money is essential. What is saving? What is investing? Savings, you set aside money for a specific time, 5 years or less, specific purpose. Most times you don't need more than $3,000 in your savings account, most times, okay? That's savings. Investing, 5 years or longer. If you invest in a mutual fund or some type of organized program, if you invest 10 years or longer, you have about a 95 to 99% chance that that investment is going to have a positive return, which means it's going to make money. 15 years, guaranteed return on your investment. 15 years. Useful tips on savings. Save regularly. Do it every month. Record your expenses. Pay yourself first. Set savings goals. Start now. Encourage your children to save. Make saving easier by auto drafting it out of your accounts. Let's talk about savings just for a second. How many people understand when I say auto draft your savings, what that means? Okay, good. Got a few. Auto draft means that when your money goes to the bank with the direct deposit or whatever it is, automatically have money go to investments directly from your bank account to that investment. Okay? What could those investments be? We're going to spend a little time on mutual funds today because they're the simplest ones to understand. But every person in this room should be putting money every month in a mutual fund. In a mutual fund. You should be putting anywhere from $25 to $100 or whatever you can afford inside that mutual fund. I'm going to tell you why it's supported just in a second. But everybody understand auto save. All right. What about auto paying your bills? Do we understand that? All right, good deal. Very important. Investing is when you're expecting a return. How do you know when you get a return? Here's an example. You get $1,000 in your local bank, and they give you 10% return on your money. What was the return? $100, right? So when you understand investing, you're looking for a return on your money. That's all investing is getting a return on your money. Real important. When you put money in a CD down at the bank for 6 months, 8 months, or a year, they give you back the principal plus the interest, right? You got a return on your money. The objective in investing is to make your money grow long-term wise, not the 8 to 10 months, and make sure your money is also protected from taxes. That's called tax-efficient investing, and we'll talk about that. But that's all rate of return means, that you earn money on your money, okay? Now I'm going to go over this because we talked about this earlier. You get your money, the first thing you should do is save and invest, pay the bills, and spend what's left. How many people here got a retirement plan on their jobs? On your jobs? Okay, good. How many people actually understand what their retirement plan? Okay. If you got a 401k, do you know how much the employer is putting in? The exact amount. Okay. Are you matching that? Are you putting more than that? Okay. For all the people that are putting more inside your 401k, this is for you. Do you have a Roth IRA? Yes. I got one. She's got a Roth IRA, plus she's putting more inside of her 401k. Anybody else? Do you have a Roth IRA? This is a strategy. Absolutely. I want you to understand this strategy, okay? If your employer is, say, putting in 5%, you should put in how much? 5%. All right? Now, if you're going to put in more, it should probably go inside of a Roth IRA. You see, well, Charles, why is that? The money inside the Roth IRA grows tax deferred, tax free, and you take it out tax free. Everybody got that? The money inside of your 401k will come out at ordinary income taxes. So what does that mean? Let's say you got $500,000 inside your 401k and you're taking out $50,000 a year to live off of. It's going to be about a 34 or 35% tax bracket. Everybody got that? So you want to make sure, if you don't have a tax problem now, to make sure I qualify this. If you have a tax problem, which means that you're paying a bunch of money in taxes every year, then you need to overfund your 401k like she's doing. So why is that? Because what you put inside your 401k comes off the top of your income just like you never made it. So if you're paying a lot of excess money in taxes, put it inside your 401k instead of paying it in taxes. That makes sense? So you want to save money on taxes, load your 401k. You can put, if you're under 50, you can put $22,500 inside your 401k, under 50. If you're over 50, you can put up to $30,000 inside your 401k. But the maximum you can put inside that 401k, along with your employer, is about $66,000 a year. Okay? Now, if you own your own business, that's a whole different ballgame. We can show you how to put almost your whole salary inside a retirement plan as an expense if you own your own business. But make sure, if your company does not have a 401k, then you need to make sure that you're setting aside money in a Roth IRA for your future. Because if you don't have a 401k, you don't have a TSP, 403b, your retirement is Social Security. That's it. If you're not saving any extra money, your retirement is Social Security. And most times it's not going to be enough. Yes? Yeah, pensions. Pensions are really good. Pensions are like the state government, federal government used to have a pension, but now they have a TSP. But a pension is when you got both? Lucky you. A pension is when on your job, like your last 3 to 5 years, they take an average of how much you earned and they pay that for the rest of your life. There are only about 17% of companies and corporations worldwide right now that's got pensions. 1980, they changed the rules. A guy named Ted Penna looked inside the 401k rules. And he told his company, we don't have to have a pension anymore because guess what? We can create a 401k because of the tax code. Now, why was that important to Ted Penna and that company? Well, the federal government says if you're going to have a pension, you got to fund it. You can't wait to fund it. You got to fund it early. So they had to take money off their profits, right, and put it inside the pension, so it was costing them money. So they want to get out of the pension business. So most of the companies got out of the pension business and got into the 401k business. But when they got into the 401k business, something bad happened. Every last one of you guys had to become your personal financial advisor to try to understand how that 401k works. And a lot of people didn't understand it. They still don't understand it. And they're not putting enough money in there for retirement. So if you got a 401k, please load it up. Anything over what your employer is putting in, put it inside of a Roth IRA so you can have some tax-free money and some taxable money. Everybody got that?
Does a Roth IRA at your employer, or is that?
No. Now, some employers have what you call a Roth 401k provision in their jobs. If your employer has a Roth 401k provision, put some money there for sure, because it's out of sight, out of mind. Lisa.
So, I'm not the younger crowd that you spoke to earlier. So I just have a small savings.
Uh-huh.
I have a 401k that's something, I put money into it every month, I don't know anything. So you're saying I need another one?
I'm saying the 401k that you currently have, you need to print it off and sit down and get a total understanding of how it works and make sure you're maximizing your contributions in there, okay? Also, it's based off your goals, how much longer you're going to work. If you're going to work another 10, 15 years, that 401k needs to be set up based off that risk, how long you're going to work, okay? Then, if you got excess money left over, put it inside of a Roth IRA so you can have 2 retirement plans. Got it? You got your 401k, got your personal savings, then you got your Social Security. It's like a a bar stool with three legs on it. Any more questions about that? Very important. Okay, good deal. Ronald Reagan said a long time ago that inflation is as violent as a mugger, as frightening as an armed robber, and as deadly as a hitman. Why in the world would the President of the United States talk like that about inflation? Can anybody tell me why he would say that? What is inflation? What is inflation? She says the markup of things. Anybody else? What is inflation? What's that say again?
I said the value of the product or the supply didn't change.
Just costs more.
It costs more than the money that you have.
Okay. Cost goes up, but your money stays the same.
Basically on your necessities, stuff you need.
Stuff you need. That's good. Inflation, real simple, ladies and gentlemen, is the increase of goods and services going up every year. Real simple. Let's take a look at that. Over the last 30 years, inflation has averaged 3%. Now take a look at these numbers. It's called the risk of not investing. If over 30 years the value of a dollar decreases by 3% a year, this is what these things would cost. Take a look at that. A cup of coffee, $1.50, projected cost $3. Milk, $3, projected cost $7.28. CDs, music, $8, projected cost $19.42. That's real live inflation. When you invest, the number one thing you want to do with your investments is to make sure they outperform the growth of what? Inflation. If you're investing money, inflation is averaging 3%, you're earning 1 and 2% on your money's doing what? Going down in value. It's not keeping up with inflation. So when you look at your investments, the first thing you want to make sure is my investment outperforming inflation? And most times it's not. Also understand, if you put money inside of a CD at a bank, most CDs are not tax efficient. See, Charles said, you keep saying tax efficient. What is tax efficient? You get a $10,000 CD, you earn 5% on it, right? So at the end of the year, you earn $500, right? Is that $500 taxed as income? Is it? It is. The money inside of that CD, the interest that you earned, is taxed. So if you're in a 30% tax bracket, state and federal, you earn $500, then 30% of that $500 is earmarked to what? Taxes. So you really earned $350, right? So your real return was 3.5%, right? And if I come back and factor in the 3% of inflation, did you earn any money? See, these are the fundamentals of understanding how to hire your money. When you got a $10,000 CD, inflation, I earned 5% on it. Inflation is 3%. Taxes were 1.5% of that. My net earnings was 0.5% because I didn't understand how the investment worked from a tax perspective. Everybody got that? Go ahead.
Same thing happens with Social Security. They tax you at work, so you get your Social Security. When you get your Social Security, they tax you leave.
Yeah, not as bad though. Yeah. I want you to understand, this is how you understand the money game. Inflation is a silent killer of your money, okay? Key to building wealth, though, guys, is understanding the difference between needs and wants. I'm going to probably keep talking about this, not as much, though, but what happens is that we overspend our budgets. We don't have our investment plans in place. We don't have our savings plans in place. And what we do, we take the money that's going to wants that should be going to investments. So I challenge you, before buying extra stuff you really need it, delay your wants until you can afford them. Keep track of your spending. Need versus wants matrix. Something urgent, you need to get it now. Urgent but not important, buy it if you can afford it. Not urgent, buy me later. Not urgent, not important, just want it, just don't buy it. Okay? Get your plans set up. Time value of money. Time value of money. A dollar today is worth more than a dollar tomorrow. Inflation, uncertainty, and opportunity costs present present and future value are like a formula. It's like a formula. This is really good on this next slide. See if I can find it for you. We talked about procrastination. I won't delve into that, but this is what I want to show you. Investor A starts investing at age 25. They're setting aside $2,000 a year, and they're doing it for 10 years. Everybody see that? They got a total of $20,000 they set aside. They started at 25, they invested to 35, and they stopped. And that $20,000, because of the compound interest, grew to a net of $525,000 by the time they got 65. Is that amazing? Now, look what happened. Investor B waited 10 years. He said, I don't have $2,000 to save right now. I'm going to start when I get 35. So from 35 to 65, they invested $62,000. You see that? The $62,000 compared to the $20,000 invested, they only netted $290,000. That's a $200-some-thousand difference. And they put in 1/3 the amount of money the other person put in because they started early. So do not procrastinate with your investment plans. Start now. It costs you a ton of money because of the fact of compounding. Everybody see that?
So, Deacon Thomas,
Okay?
you saying that even if I just got $100, I should start now?
Right now. Right now. You know, the whole time we talked in this class about that $3.33 a day, didn't we? That's that $100 a month I kept telling you about. I'm going to show you what it's worth for you in just a little bit. Any questions concerning the time value of money? Everybody understand that? Time value of money. It costs you money when you don't get started. Albert Einstein says compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Those who understand it, earn it, and those who don't pay it on compound interest. Here's a formula. The rule of 72 says how many years it takes for your money to double. You take 72 divided by the interest rate, and it tells you how many years it's going to take for your money to double. For example, 72 divided by 8% tells me in 9 years, whatever my investment is, if I'm earning 8% on it, it's going to double in 9 years. So your goal is to compound your money as many times as possible by getting a higher interest rate. That makes sense? Everybody understand compound interest? Let's take a deeper look at it. Now, here's a guy at the very top up here, the very top. He had a $10,000 one-time investment right here, $10,000. If you notice right there, in year 20, his $10,000 at 10% had grew to $67,000. Y'all see that? Now, investor B down here, they didn't have $10,000. All they had was $100 a month. They took the $100 a month, and in 20 years, their money grew to $75,000. It outperformed the lump sum investment. Although the lump sum investment got started early. He just had $100 a month. He was putting $100 a month. He's putting in there. Does anybody know why? What is it? No. The one with $10,000 didn't put no money in there. The guy with $100 a month, he just took his $3.33 a day, which is $100 a month. He just invested it every month like clockwork. Every month. I'm going to teach you another term that's very important for investing. That's why I want to show you this example. But the end result is that the guy with the $10,000 grew his money to $452,000. The guy with $100 a month grew his to $632,000 by just investing $100 a month. Let's take a look at that. Something called dollar cost averaging. Remember inside your workbook, we had a section on dollar cost averaging we told you guys to take a look at. Let's take a look at dollar cost averaging so you can understand why the guy with $100 a month grew his money faster over a period of time than the guy with the one-time $10,000 investment. If you take a look right here, it's $100 a month for 12 months. This is the share price. When you buy a stock or when you buy a mutual fund, you're going to buy something called a share price. So in January, he took his $100. The share price was $10. He bought 10 shares, and he got what? 10 shares. His account was $100. See that? In February, it went down. He still had the same $100, but instead of buying 10 shares, he bought 10.7 shares. So he bought more. Then in May, look at May. It went way down to $8.14 in May. Still putting in $100. But now he's getting 12.29 shares instead of 10 shares. Got it? Then we go all the way down to December. This thing was here for a whole year. This thing finally went up 13 cents. When it went up 13 cents, he didn't get the full 10 shares anymore. He got 9.87 shares for a total account value of $13.89. But here's what's interesting. Because the market was going up and down, he was buying when the shares went down. When the shares went back up, he made profit. What was his return? 15.77%. And the market never went up until the last month. Now, what happened in this scenario, ladies and gentlemen? What happened? Look. What, say it again now? She said he did the compound interest formula. That too. Over here, Tiffany. Y'all hear what she said? When the share price was going down, he was constantly putting money in every month buying shares, right? So as the price was going down, he was accumulating what? More shares. Y'all catch that? So when the market went back up, he had a whole bunch of shares. And when the market went back up, he had a bunch of shares at a higher price of $10.13 instead of $10. Now watch the second screen over here. Now this guy, he took his $1,200, just put it in there, and he never, ever put any more money in there. And what is his end return? 1.3%. Same $1,200. One invested every month, and one invested at one time. That's called the power of dollar cost averaging. So I want to help you guys now. When you see the market start going down and going crazy and stuff, and you're putting that money investing every month, you got good funds you're investing in, get excited. I'm talking about stuff is on sale. When stuff go down, I buy more. When it come back up, I got more shares because I know it's going to come back up because I'm buying in good, solid, blue chip companies, good companies that are managed well. So do not get afraid when the market goes down. That depends on your goals and also depends on where you are in your life. Now, if you're 65 or 70 years old, you don't want to see the market do that. All right? You want that money to go in there and just sit and get fixed returns. You want that money, the market go down? I don't want to play with that chart. The market go down. I don't want that. I don't want my money to do that. That's why we put you in what we call fixed investments that pay you anywhere between 6, 8, or 9, or 10% a year, and they're fixed and pretty much guaranteed. So this is another educational point, understanding the power of dollar cost averaging. So as you invest in your 401k, your Roth IRAs, get excited. Just make sure you're investing into good funds. That's important. And I'm going to show you today on how to identify some of those funds inside your Roth IRAs and your 401ks, or TSPs, how to tell if they're good funds or not, about how they're being managed, okay? Any questions concerning dollar cost averaging? Okay. You guys are doing good. Doing good. Now we'll talk a little bit about investment terminology, which is essential to understand what that looks like. But first, I always throw Social Security in here because, guys, Social Security is part of your retirement plan. There's certain things you need to know. The first thing you need to know is that you need to contribute to 40 quarters in Social Security to get the full benefit. What is 40 quarters? 10 years. You need to have 10 full years working in Social Security to get the full benefits. Charles, what do you mean full benefit? Well, let's say you only got 4 or 5 years in Social Security. You've been an entrepreneur all your life working for yourself. You never paid into the Social Security trust fund. You don't have any Social Security. You get disabled, you have no Social Security. You get ready to retire, you have no Social Security. So make sure, I told you guys earlier, go to ssa.gov. That's your personal, and look at your personal Social Security account and see where you are. It'll tell you, wherever you are, it'll tell you got this many years before you can retire, how much you got to get when you retire. But typically, people are going to need to work to about age 67 to get full benefits in Social Security with the current rates. It may go up to 70, that's what they're talking about, but right now it's 67. But understand that you need your 40 quarters, okay? ETFs. These are called exchange trading funds. ETFs. They work like a mutual fund. They work like a stock combined. Let's say the Russell 2000, which is an exchange. You could buy a ETF with the Russell 2000, which has over 2,000 different stocks in it. Okay? Now, the difference between an ETF and a mutual fund, an ETF can be bought and sold every day, just like a stock. Mutual funds, they only sell up once, so they can buy them at the end of each day. And mutual funds are designed for long-term investments. ETAs, they can be long-term too, but you understand they work just like a stock. How does a stock work? I can go buy some Microsoft right now. If there was Monday, 10 o'clock, I can go online and buy me some Microsoft. And guess what? By 3 o'clock that evening, I can sell Microsoft. Same way ETFs work. They offer a lot of diversity because they have a lot of different companies in them. And I'm going to show you some ETFs today. I probably shouldn't even show it to you. We got some ETFs that that have had 300-some% return this year. 300 and something. Okay, I didn't say 100. I didn't say. I said 300 and something that you guys could have bought if you knew about it, but you didn't know that you. But ETFs, they offer tons of diversification. They're a good place to put money. Okay, to make it grow. Bonds. Bonds are debt securities where you lend money to governments and corporations. Like, let's say a municipal bond. Municipal bonds are really good to save money and for short-term investments, like your emergency fund and stuff like that. Let's say you had a municipal bond that was paying 5%. When I say municipal, that means that that bond is not going to be taxed at all. It's a tax-free bond. So as the money grows inside that particular bond, it grows tax-free. You can take it out tax-free. They're called municipal bonds. Sometimes the rate's just a little bit lower, but you don't pay any taxes on it. So if you get a 5% municipal bond, and let's say you're in a 30% tax bracket, you'd have to earn 6.5% to almost 7% to net out 5%. So a 5% tax-free municipal bond is like having a 6.5% to 7% investment. Everybody got that? Because it's tax-free. They're great places to put money for short-term monies. You have your high-yield bonds. Now, some of your high-yield bonds, well, corporations, they create a bond because they got a certain project going on. You can buy that particular bond called a high-yield bond. Their return sometime in double digits. Just got to make sure the corporation you're doing business with is solid. The federal government got treasury notes, treasury bonds and stuff. Long-term investments, they're very safe, but most time the returns, you can beat those with your regular investments like ETFs and mutual funds and buying regular stocks, okay? But if you want somewhere to put your emergency fund, bonds are a good place to put those emergency funds. Stocks. Stocks represent ownership share in a company, potentially offering higher returns. Okay, anybody here heard of Amazon? Heard of Google? Anybody own any of those companies? Got one of that own it. Great, great. Here's a great education conversation for you. If you're doing business with a lot of companies, if you're buying stuff from Amazon and they're having success, stop being just a customer, become an owner. How do you become an owner? You go online and you buy some of Amazon's stock. So when that stock goes up, your money goes up. Same thing with Google. Same thing with Facebook. Same thing with some of these semiconductor companies out here today. Amazon right now this year is up somewhere between 50 and 70% this year. Amazon, the place that you go buy stuff from every day, Amazon is making about 50% of their money this year. You say, well, Charles, I don't have enough money to buy Amazon. That stuff is really expensive. There's something called fractional shares. Fractional shares. That means if you want to go and buy $100 at Amazon every month, you can buy $100 at Amazon every month. You can buy $50 at Google. You can buy fractional shares. You don't have to buy the whole share price. But let's say you are investing $500 a month in 4 or 5 different stock companies. That's $6,000 a year. And let's say at the end of the year, those companies went up by 50%. You bought fractional shares, right? Did your money go up by 50% too? It did, ladies and gentlemen. So it doesn't matter whether you're buying $50 a month, $100 a month, or whatever with these major companies, when their profits go up, your money goes up. So don't be afraid to put companies inside your portfolio to hedge against inflation. Now, we're talking about companies that are giving you astronomical returns, and it's been happening for years and years and years, but everybody can't participate because everybody don't have the risk profile to participate. So a little later, we're going to go over risk profile, but you're going to probably do a lot better in risk profile because I'm educating you right now. Most time we give you a risk profile before we educate you. But the risk profile is going to determine your ability to handle risk. Markets going up and markets going down. But I encourage everybody in here, become an owner. Become an owner. Not a loaner, but an owner. Any questions concerning this stuff? Any questions? Okay. Mutual funds. Mutual funds pool money from investors to buy a diversified portfolio managed by professionals. That's the part I want you to get. Managed by who? Mutual funds typically is a starting point for most investors because you can buy a mutual fund and it may have 30, 40, 50 individual companies inside one mutual fund. It's stocks. It may have Facebook, it may have Google, it may have all those companies inside one mutual fund, and a professional money manager is managing that mutual fund for you. Now, if you had to go out and hire a professional money manager, you would need somewhere between $1.5 to $3 million for them to take your account. Now, in mutual funds, all the money is pooled together. That means all of us in this room, we could take $100 and put inside of a mutual fund, and there's one manager or a team of managers, they're measuring our money. That's all across the world. One mutual fund may have 2 million people in it that they're managing the money for. But those 2 million people hired a money manager that they couldn't hire by themselves. The same guy that's handling Harvard's endowments, the Walton's money, those kind of mutual fund managers now can manage your money through mutual funds. Very important. Most mutual funds with Fidelity, you can start out with a Fidelity mutual fund for $25. Charles Schwab, Vanguard, most of these places you can start with is $25. So there's no reason why you should not own mutual funds and stocks inside your portfolio on top of what's inside your 401ks and TSPs and 403Bs. Okay? Now let's kind of talk a little bit more in detail about the investment plans and what you can and can't do. Thought I wouldn't have got to this, but some of the numbers are going to be a little off, but don't worry about it. A 401k and Roth IRAs, they're what you call pre-taxed. Can anybody tell me what pre-tax mean? Let's have a conversation. What does pre-tax mean? They what now? She said they take the taxes out up front. Is that true? It says Roth 401ks are pre-taxed. Pre-taxed. Can somebody give me an example of what that looks like?
Would I have a certain amount of money going in my 401, they take it, and then they tax me on what's left?
Hear what she said? She says, does that mean I have a certain amount of money going inside my 401k? Yes, that's what it means. And they tax me on what's left. So the example for that, let's say she's bringing home $2,000 of pay period. And she's got $500 of pay period going toward her TSP or her 401k or whatever it is, right? The $500 goes inside the 401k and it grows and it's never taxed until she get ready to take it out. Everybody got that? Yeah. So the $1,500 that was left over is what she's taxed on. So instead of getting taxed on $2,000, she got taxed on $1,500. So the pre-tax part is automatically saving you money, isn't it? And the other thing about a 401k and understand these pre-tax dollars is that you're getting 100% return on your money when there's a match. If she's putting in $500 and her company's putting in $500, she's got 100% return on money, didn't she? Now, what if she saved 20% on her taxes? So now she got 120% return on her money, and she hadn't even invested it yet by understanding these rules. Does that make sense? Come on now, I want you guys to get this. She put $500 in. Her employer put how much in? She was in a 20% tax bracket. That $500 did not get taxed, right? So she got another 20% in tax savings, right? So she literally got 120% return on her money just by participating in the 401k. Y'all get that? Now, what that year she turned and earned another 10% of her money. She got over, 130, 140% return on her money just by participating. That's why you have to participate with your 401ks. It's got guaranteed money, and it grows your wealth, okay? Now, somebody have a question? Oh, Lisa, you're just talking, okay. Now, this number, the 22.5, that number was, I think, $20,000. Last year they raised it $2,000. But it's saying that you can put $22,500 inside your 401k. You can put $30,000 if you're over 50. So you guys need to play catch up. You can play catch up inside your 401k. Okay. Now the 403b, Roth IRA, and all those things. All the numbers are the same, guys. I didn't get a chance to change the other numbers, but they're all 22.5 and 26,000. Okay. The traditional RA, you can now put 6,500 in there and 7,500 if you're over 50. The Roth IRA, you can put 6,500 and 7,500 if you're over 50. Now here's a unique one right here. The 529 plan, you used to put $366,000 in that thing, but you can put $500,000 in the 529 now. Y'all catch that? What is a 529? A 529 is a college savings plan for somebody who's going to college. And right now, you can put up to $500,000 in that 529. Now, why is that important? Well, if you understand gift taxes and gifts, if you got grandparents and stuff like that, they want to donate to their grandkids, each grandparent can take $17,000 and put inside of a 529 for their kids' college, and the kid don't have to pay any gift taxes on it. Pretty cool, isn't it? They can literally give it away. They can give away up to $34,000, $35,000 per married couple. So if you got grandparents that want to give money to your kids, or got uncles and nieces and aunties want to give money to your kids, get you a 529 plan and put the money in there. Question back here.
So the 529
Good question. You can use the money, or another kid can use it, or you can take the money and use it as an investment and just take the tax hit on it. It's still your money.
So with, I know you were saying grandparents, aunties, all that. Parents also qualify as being gifters.
Oh, yeah, automatically, yeah. They're the ones who set it up. It's more like a custodial account they set up for the kid, and they manage it. But if somebody want to donate to your son or daughter's education, they can put money inside the 529. And also the 529 monies are tax deductible, okay? Tax deductible, in the state of Arkansas at least. Yes, ma'am. No, doesn't change anything. The only thing, if no one ever uses it for education, it turns like into a traditional IRA. It means that the money in there is going to be taxed when you take it out and all that kind of stuff. It turns into a savings plan. Yeah. The 529s, they're good. Arkansas's got a pretty good one. They just changed it up a little bit, but it's pretty good too. Some of the investment accounts I'm not real pleased with, but it's a great way to set aside money consistently. Any questions about, see, I got something up here too I want to explain. If you notice where it said titles are not investments, you see that? A 401k, Roth 403b, all these things right here are titles. They are not investments. They are IRS tax codes. Your 401k is an IRS tax code that was created where you can use money to fund it. So what do you mean, Charles? Okay, if you got a 401k on your job, they've got sub-accounts that look like mutual funds for you to pick and choose where your money to go, right? Those are the investments, not the 401k. It's just a title of the program. Your 403b, your TSP, all those things are just titles on the IRS tax code. They are not investments. Everybody got that? So it has to be funded. Your job, and you got to be very intentional and deliberate about this, your job is to find out how well your money is performing inside your 401ks, your RAs, and things of that nature. Don't sit on the sidelines and let it self-manage itself. You're going to come up short. Candace, what was the story? We had a young lady on a trip. What's that, Kelsey? Can you tell that story? Yeah. This is a true story. I want you guys to hear this true story because the kid was young, in her 20s, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna borrow your mic. Go ahead. All right. It's okay. So what happened, we were headed to Houston, actually, and Kelsey's actually from Mississippi. She was here a few weeks back. She's a doctor in nursing. She's doing wonderful in life. She looked at her, we were just talking, and we was like, well, you know, most people don't know about the 401k and what they're doing. So Kelsey said, well, let me pull mine up. She pulled it up on her phone. She was getting 1%. 20 at the time, 26? Yeah, because we're close. 26 years old at the time, 1% on her money. And she was like, oh my God, I had no idea. She's been working at the same job the last 3 or 4 years. She said, I never even looked at it. So in the car, on the way to Houston, we changed her 401k allocations. It was literally just looking at what was there, which is what he'll go over today, how the funds were, how they were performing, and then switched it. Now she gets double digits, 10, 12% on her money on one conversation and one piece of knowledge. So the information you're getting tonight, you're working your jobs, you guys. You're working, you're doing your thing, but if you don't pay attention to your money, you'll go all your life and have no idea. Second thing, so this happened the other day. I hadn't even talked to you about it. Talking to a teacher at a predominantly amazing school. She's been there for 20 years. 20 years, and she didn't even know she wasn't contributing to her retirement. She said, Candace, I've been working all these years. I didn't know. I started here when I was 18. And she's never looked at it until she took this class. And she took the last session's class. So it's crazy, but we have to be paying attention. You like, oh, okay, well, she's a teacher. She'll get a retirement, but what else? Right? So we just have to be paying attention and be very intentional.
Thank you, Sharon. All right. So, guys, it's important to know how to hire your money. And this stuff, it sounds real simple, but it's not simple once you dig into it. Understanding risk and return is fundamental. Risk is the possibility of losing money, while return is the profit earned. Generally, investments with higher potential returns come with a higher risk. Everybody got that? So if you expect to get more money back, you probably have to risk more money in that kind of investment. Unless it's an investment like annuities, for instance. We've got annuities called index annuities. We'll show you something on that today, where it tracks the stock market. The index annuity, as the stock market is going up, the index annuity is also tracking the stock market. But when the stock market goes down, the index annuity stays up. Pretty powerful concept, isn't it? That means the money is never at risk. Yes, ma'am.
So I recently retired from my job.
Uh-huh.
And when I got ready to pull my 401, they tax your 401k when you put the money in. So
No. When you put the money in the 401k, when you put your money in the 401k, it's pre-tax. It means it's not taxed at that time. Okay.
So when I retired from my job, I did 5%, and my job made 5%.
Okay.
They gave me my 5%, but then the company said I had to wait 5 years to get what they wanted. So,
Were you on the same job for how many years? Well, this is a new job.
I've been on for 30.
30?
Yeah. So since I didn't retire from my job at the retirement age, they said that for me to get what my company put in, I had to wait 5 years. So are they gonna tax me after that 5 years? I'm gonna get taxed again on that half?
Yeah, what happened is that their vested schedule was based around a certain age,
Yeah.
not just years in. So the age you got to hit that age. When that money started coming to you, it's going to be taxed, absolutely,
They're gonna tax it again?
because it's never been taxed before.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm gonna get taxed because I got
Absolutely.
taxed because when I pulled my half out, they taxed
Mhm.
me,
Because-
and then I gonna wait 5 years,
They
and
got-
when they send me their half, they gonna tax that too.
That's correct.
So you're trying to make sure it's clear that it's not a double tax.
No, it's not a double tax. I want to be real clear on that. When you took the 5% out and put it in every month, it was not taxed. That's why they call it pre-tax. Okay? That means the money came off the top of your income and went in. It was not taxed. What was taxed was left what you was living off of. So now we get ready to take the money out. Now they say, hey, we want our money because now we're going to tax you. Well, they're going to tax you on your contribution, or tax you on their contribution. So it's still,
After 5 years, when they send me what they put in, they gonna tax that too.
that's right. It depends how you take it out. If you take it out all at one time or roll it into another investment or something, you can control that. So it's up to you what kind of strategy you put together for that. But you can control that, the amount of taxation. Okay? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Pre-tax that gives you, thank you. So with the money going in and it's not being taxed, allows you to have more for investment. How does, right, like,
Okay.
I'm just this was just a thought that I just
Okay.
had. So when you do go and you pay taxes on it, when you do take it out, I'm just curious, like, would that be, how
What the tax
does
rate
it
gonna
seem
look like?
equitable? Does it seem like even though you had it wasn't taxed and you put the money in, you had more to invest, but then when you got ready to get it out, does that help you in any way? Is that
Well,
a bigger benefit?
this is how you win in 401ks. This is how you win. Number one, you get a 100% match, which means you put in 5, they put in 5. You just won. Okay. Number two, you immediately saving 20 to 25% on taxes. You won again. So during the accumulation period, while you're putting money in, that money is growing. It's growing tax-free. You get ready to take it out, you're going to pay taxes on it. But you won because of all the excess money that's put in for you in the tax savings. That's how you win. And that's why the Roth IRA is so important. Because when you put money in, that's with after-tax dollars. It's not before tax. You can't write it off. The Roth IRA money, it grows tax-free, tax-deferred. You can take it out tax-free. Very important. You want 2 streams of income coming out. Yes, ma'am.
In her case, though, it's better for her because now that she's getting less, she's not getting taxes high. Isn't it better for her because
That kind of balances out about the same, though.
Balance it out.
Yeah. What I'm saying from a tax perspective, we always ask people, you want to pay taxes on the seed, you want to pay taxes on the harvest? Which one you want to pay taxes on? You want to pay taxes on the seed, right? Yeah. So that's what you're going to understand. Yeah. But the key to it, guys, is to understand what your retirement plans look like. Understand that you're going to need a personal retirement plan of your own to offset your current retirement and Social Security. You need 3 streams of income coming in. You need your 401k, whatever your retirement is. You need your Social Security. You need your own personal stream coming in that you create for yourself so you can retire comfortably. You got a question, Lisa?
So, in a perfect world,
Okay.
in a perfect world, if I retire at 70, that'd be in 10 years.
Okay.
According to my Social Security statement, I'll get roughly $2,000.
Okay.
So at 70, am I going to close out my 401k too and get
When you-
whatever's in there?
Yeah, when you leave your job, you're going to take your 401k, and most time you're going to roll it over to your own IRA account.
Okay, so I'm not just going to get all that money. And
Yeah, it's going to be all your money.
no, I mean, like, they're not going to hand me $25,000 in cash.
Yeah, they are.
They are?
Yeah.
Okay,
But you got to manage it.
okay,
They say, hey, here's your $100,000. You don't work for us anymore. You're separating. We want you to go put it in your own IRA account and manage it yourself now.
and at that point is when I need to know all this stuff.
Absolutely.
And
Right now, you
Get
need to
some
be
help.
accumulating. You're in the accumulation
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
You got 10 years to make a difference.
Okay,
Good question.
thank you.
All right. Other questions? Go ahead.
So how does the pension work in the TSP?
Okay. The TSP is nothing but a glorified 401k.
Okay.
In 1984, they took away the civil service program and brought the TSP in. So your TSP is going to have to be coordinated with your Social Security. See, it used to be that federal employees had civil service, which was a guaranteed pension. And the small thing they got, the small pension they got right now with the TSP is very, very small. Most times it's less than $1,000 a month because they push most of the responsibility on you because they match it 5%. They want you to put 5% in. So when you retire, you'll take that and create an income stream out of your 401k and your Social Security and whatever that small pension they got for you. Yeah. So you want to make sure that if you're getting close to retirement, you got 5 or 10 years, go back and start rebalancing your stuff based off your risk. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you're close to retirement, let's say you plan to retire and you got $300,000 sitting over here, and that money is still in the market, not in a fixed investment, and that thing goes down 30%. You just lost $90,000 that year, okay? It may take you 3 or 4 years just for it to get back to even. Now, keep in mind, you didn't really lose it. You lost it on paper. The only time you lose an investment is when you cash them in. I want you to understand that. But if that 401k is still there and it went down, that means you got a chance to sit there and watch it grow back to where it was. But what it might do, it might cut off on your retirement date. If you're planning to use that money for retirement, it may make you work 2 or 3 years longer. So that's why you get within 5 or 10 years of retirement, make sure that you go back and start rebalancing your accounts to take some of the risk out.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
I had one more question.
Okay. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Let's just say in a non-perfect world, I go home at 65 to heaven.
Uh-huh.
What happens to my 401k?
Those nice people you got on there as beneficiaries, they're going to get it. All right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You got to go back and check all this stuff. Okay, got a question over here?
Yes, I was just going to ask, they mentioned Social Security down there. What is the likelihood that they'll stop taxing Social Security benefits when you start drawing? Because, you know, you do pay the taxes while you're working, and then when you start drawing Social Security, if you don't pay it up front, you probably going to end up paying at the end of the year. So, you know, I do automatic withhold on mine for taxes, Fed taxes. So
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on that?
I think it'll be here forever, you know. And you got to say that. The federal government, the only way they can raise revenue is through taxation. And we're constantly creating more entitlement programs. The the health insurance right now is an entitlement program. It's just like Social Security. I think it costs more than Social Security, though. The average person paying for health insurance, let's say they're spending $75 to $100 a month for their health insurance through the ACA or Obamacare type program, right? That health insurance is actually costing them between $800 and $900 a month. The federal government is paying the other $800 or $900 a month to the insurance company to make sure that person is insured. So we've created another entitlement program, and the only way to raise money for it is through taxation. So I don't think that the taxing is going to ever go away, but I do think that it's going to go up. I think people that are putting money inside 401ks today, when you get ready to take your money out, you can expect to be taken out at a higher tax bracket. That's what I believe. But anyway, it's time for us to do a break. Let's go and get a break. You guys grab something to eat. We'll pick up where we left off at. Okay. Oh, you got one more question? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, has this information been helpful? Come on, let's. Deacon Thomas, great job, great job. It's worthwhile coming here on a Saturday morning because this is going to affect you for years. And when you're talking about retirement, you don't have as many options at 65 and 70 and 75 that you do at 25 and 30 and 35. And so this is very, very important information. So we're going to take a 10 or 15 minute break. If you have not signed in, please sign in. We still have some refreshments. But this session will end at 12 noon. But we're going to do what's called a lunch and learn. So if you want to stay for that, that is no more where they're going to go from theory to answering the questions you have about your personal finances. So we're not going to, that's not going to be on hybrid. This gives you a chance to be with the experts in the room and you ask the questions, and it's not theoretical. It's Deacon Thomas, I got $182.75 in my savings account. What should I do with it? So if you want to stay for the lunch and learn, which will be from 12 to 1, raise your hand because I need to go and get you another piece of bread. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. But you don't want your slice of bread, I'll give it to somebody else. So somebody get, so 22 to 24, so almost everybody. Oh, okay. So it's going to be unhealthy but easy for you to eat, and you can ask your questions and learn and grow your waist all at the same time. All right, let's take a break. Thank y'all.
I want him to share with all you guys. I thought it was a good point, so I told him he could share it instead of me. Come on up.
Appreciate it, D. Thank you, sir. So just wanting to make sure, and this has been said before, but I know sometimes, we share a lot of information with you, but Social Security was never meant to cover all of your retirement needs. So it's up to us to have those other investments that's going to help us, okay? There are a lot of stories out there about Social Security and whether or not it's going to be around in 2040, 2050. So we need to take control of our own financial lives, like we've been talking about doing all of these sessions, so that we have other sources of income coming in to help us grow more comfortable in our retirement years when we should be celebrating and doing things that we want to do. All right? Absolutely. Thank you, Dick. Appreciate it.
All right, give me a hand. That was good. That was good. Because it's important just to know that when we say we want you to be intentional, be deliberate, what I've learned in life is that you can't do what you don't know. Does that make sense? And by you guys being here, you're gathering a lot of new information, and you want to put this information into action. Even if you don't know what you're doing, you failed in trying to get it into action, just do it. After this class, we're going to want you to call Fidelity Investments, call Charles Schwab. They will walk you through how to set up their accounts. It's really simple. And if you like, we can help you, set up some accounts and show you how to buy stock. It's real easy. Go inside, Charles Schwab and those guys, buy your stock, a limited order, you're done. But we'll show you how to do that stuff. We'll even send you YouTube videos on how to do it yourself. It's really simple. Once you guys see how simple this is, you'll say, wow, why wasn't I doing this a long time ago? Just talking to a young lady, Tiffany, on break. We met, 6, 7 years ago? And we was teaching these principles 6, 7 years ago, and she started, you know what, Ms. Thomas, I put that $100 aside every month like you said. And now, inside her mutual fund and stuff, she's got over 100% return on her money. She's got double what she put in, what I'm saying, because she started. She didn't know what she's doing. She just started. So she got a young kid, 6, 7 years old, so that kid's got a bright future. They got a bright future. Give her a hand. Yeah. Give her a hand. Yeah. For starting. So let's go ahead and talk about risk versus rewards. Remember, generally investments with higher potential returns come with some kind of risk. But diversification or spreading your investments helps manage your risk. By investing in a variety of assets, you reduce the impact of a poor performing investment in your overall portfolio. So let's talk about diversification just for 1 second. When you hear the word diversification, what does that mean to you from investing? What does that sound like to you? Diversification. We say the same thing. I want you to be specific now. The same investments? Oh, you heard what she said back there? Same what? Type. So what does that mean when you say type? Okay. So let me help you. Let me help you understand a little bit better. Okay, I'm gonna bring Candace up in a second. She's gonna go over a risk profile sheet for us. But when we say different type of investments, like this year in 2023, what do you think is the leading investment category for 2023? Medicine. Not medicine. Something else. The leading investment category for 2023. What did he say? Technology. Y'all hear that? Now, if technology is the leading source for 2023, then 1 year real estate was the leading source. Y'all got it? 1 year bonds was the leading source. So all these different categories at one point in time, they're going to be leading in those different categories. So you don't want to put all your money in one category because another category may pop up and you start making money from that category. Everybody understand that? So when you buy your mutual funds and things of that nature, don't buy all tech mutual funds. Buy a healthcare mutual fund, like she said back there. Buy a real estate investment trust mutual fund. Buy you a Bitcoin ETF they're getting ready to come out with. Yeah, the major companies getting ready to come out with some Bitcoin ETFs. Buy you some ETFs. What I'm saying, I don't care if you got $100 or $1,000, you can spread that money out among different investments to limit the risk. Okay? And that's what diversification is all about. But first, let's find out what kind of investor you are. Candace, you about ready? All right, she's going to come up. It should be inside your books. You got a risk profile sheet. Did you bring that with you today? She's going to walk you through that today, risk profile.
Does everyone have one? No? We're going to work on it. No idea. Let me get a book real quick. And anybody know if it's in the white or the black book? The black book? Okay. Anybody know what page it's on? Want to see if we can get some copies. Page 34. Yeah, I think you're close. I think you're right. 34. Yes. It's on page 34 in the black binder. How many of you don't have it? 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't have to be color. 6. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started and then they'll get yours. Just do me a favor, if you don't have one, put your number that you circle on a piece of paper and then you can fill in later. Sounds good? How's the family? All right. Y'all better come on now. I'm excited. Y'all listen, you know how I am when we get here. We family, we gotta get it. Okay, all right, let's do it. Deacon Thomas done a great job, hasn't he? Amen. All right, so we're going to go into what kind of investor are you? But before we do that, I'm just curious, what's been your number one takeaway so far? Oh, yeah, I want you to talk back. Let's do it. What's your number one takeaway? Just invest. Just get into it. Invest. No matter what happens, get started. All right. What else? Knowledge. The information is important. You don't know what you don't know. Okay. What else? Financial stability. Give me some more. When the market goes down, don't pull out. Yeah, because you lose then. That's right. It's so funny. She just mentioned to me, she said, oh, Candace, I'm not doing very good. My numbers are off, right? I said, oh, it's okay if it's down. You never lose until you pull out, right? So don't pull out, especially when it's down. That's good. Yes, ma'am. Shifting my mindset is everything. Woo! That's a big deal. Yeah, that is. That's a big deal. Anyone else? You don't have to have a whole lot to start with. That's good. That's good. I'm taking this moment just to make sure everybody got their documents. We're getting going. But I'm just curious because whenever you're in class, everyone takes something different from the information, right? And as you sit there and you sit in it, you're here on a Saturday. How many people show up to a financial event on a Saturday?
30-some people.
30-some people, right? And about 5 online, right? That's exactly right. But guess what? How many people were invited? Hundreds, thousands, right? So I want you all to give yourselves a hand. That was real cute. I'm going to say it again. I want you to give yourselves a hand. There we go. Because the reality is that you showed up, and that's the number one battle right there. Showing up. Yeah. Having that mindset to be here, so that's really good. All right, let's get started. Your investor profile talks about how you should invest your money. That's it. It tells you the best strategy based around what you plan to do with your money, when you plan to pull it out, and how much risk you can take. All right, so from that perspective, let's get those hands up. I think Pastor Thomas has some binders. We need the black ones for sure, but they could use both if they don't have them. I don't think that's enough, but there we go. We got good stuff. So Miss Tiffany has us with some extras. I'm gonna go ahead and wait on that. We good. Yeah, we can hold off. Thank you. 1/3 to your left, right here. Yeah. Thank you, Tiff. Appreciate it. We got the best team ever, y'all. I just want y'all to know. Yeah, they real good. All right, everyone got one? Yes? All right, good. Okay, so your time horizon talks about when you plan to withdraw your money from the account. If you put the money in, how long it's going to take for you to pull it out? What's your plans for your money? And then your risk tolerance says that some investments fluctuate. They go up, they go down. Can you handle the risk that comes with that type of investment? So that's what this document is going to do. It's going to help you to realize how much risk you can take and what's the best strategy for you. All right? Now, number one, we're going to go through it together. You won't have to do it on your own. Let's talk through it. Now, you put your answers. I'm going to have an example, but you put your answers on the document. Everybody good? We ready? All right, number one. I plan to begin withdrawing money from my investment in 3 years or less than 3 years, 3 to 5 years, 6 to 10, or 11 or more. Circle your answer, whatever you plan to do. If this is not clear, just give me a little finger, and then I'll do some more talking on that actual one. But if not, you're good. Circle your answer. Let's move. All right. Okay. Let's say I put my money in my retirement account, which is like my 401k or my Roth IRA, something like that, right? When I put my money in there, this question says, how many years is it going to take before you start withdrawing money out of it? So in this example, if I'm young and I'm in my 20s or 30s, y'all caught that, dude? You caught that? Let's say I'm a little younger. I got time. Or let's say I'm middle age and I know that I'm not going to start taking my retirement money for another 10 years or 20 years. I'm going to put a larger number there because I'm not going to pull that money out. Is that helpful? Okay. If I'm at retirement age and I know I'm going to get out of this job and I'm going to need my money in the next 2 or 3 years, you're going to circle a different answer. Okay. We good? All right. My one finger went down, so I'm good. I'm going to keep going. Y'all looked at me like, why you explaining? Because somebody put their finger up. Okay, all right, number two. Everybody got something circled? Yes, all right, good. Number two, once I begin withdrawing funds from my investments, I plan to spend all the funds in. Whenever I've made it to that time and I'm ready to start taking my money out, right? Do I plan to just pull it all at that time, like right then, or am I going to spend it over time? That means I want that big lump sum money to give me a check over time. And I'm going to need it to last me, right? So that's what this question is saying. Once I begin taking the money, I'm going to spend it how fast? Y'all got it? All right. In my example, I put 11 years or more. And you put whatever is your answer, okay? And then we're going to add it up. It's real simple. Number 1 and 2, you add it together, and it's going to tell you your time horizon. Your time horizon. Question, yes? That's a good question. So what it's saying is, let's say I got $100,000. Are you going to take that $100,000 within that year time, all of it at once? Probably not. You're going to say, okay, I want that $100,000 to last me over the next 10 years. So I'm going to take a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, like that. Okay, so that's saying how much time do you think you'll be spending that money out of that account that you just created? Now, one of the things I want you to think about, and Deacon Thomas, come with me on this one. So sometimes when we're in retirement years, we may have some extra money that we want to play with. Can you have more than one risk profile?
Absolutely.
Got it.
Absolutely.
Got it. So what we're saying is that if you're in retirement and you got your money, you know that money is already set, but you got some extra money that you want to play with, you can do a risk profile for the extra money that you want to play with. Not just, oh, this is my life money. Does that help? Because some of us are already at that age where it's like, no, I got my money coming, so this ain't for me. No. What about your extra? Okay? Was that helpful? Yes. All right, good. Everybody got a risk tolerance. You got numbers? Okay, 1 through 20. Say yes? Yes. Okay, 20 through 30. Say yes? Yes. All right, got a couple. All right. No number at all. Anybody? Okay, somebody got to know. Okay, all right, that means we good. That was a trick question. All right, a score of less than 3 indicates that you have a short time horizon. That means that you likely want to have a short-term portfolio with bonds, bond funds, and cash kind of investment. So nothing that's really volatile if you have a time horizon of 3 or less. All right, anyone in that category? All right, good. Let's move. Number 3. Are we on the same page? Yes. All right. I would describe my investment knowledge as none, limited, good, or extensive. Circle your answer. How do you feel that your knowledge is about investing? No answers are bad answers, okay? Just circle where you are. And honestly, the more your investment profile can change. So if you take the class before, it's probably different. Could be different from when you're taking the class now. All right, number 4, when I invest my money, I am mostly concerned about, and I'm gonna summarize, my money, losing money, I'm concerned about losing money. That's my most concern. Equally concerned, and that was number 0, letters number 0. Equally concerned about my money losing or gaining, I'm equally concerned. Or I'm just trying to make some money. That was my summary, all right? Circle 0, 4, or 8. Everybody got an answer? All right. Who just trying to make some money? Yeah, okay. All right, number 5. Select the investments you currently own. Bonds, that's number 3. Stocks, number 6. International securities, number 8. If you have some mutual funds, it's likely a blend of all of them, so you'd put number 8. None. If you have anything at your job, you could at least put number 3. Okay? Just to make sure you put something. Nothing is not an answer unless you don't have any kind of retirement, you would skip that one, or any kind of anything. All right? And that's okay if you don't, because you're here, that way you can get started. Yes.
And I'm sorry, this isn't the right time.
No, it's all right. It's a good time.
Say I have a life insurance policy through an investment or through like a mutual company.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that mean that they're investing the money that I'm taking in towards my life insurance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So then circling the first one would still be.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yes. Because it's a low risk, and that first one is exactly what you're going to be receiving off of it. And no matter what they do, that's what you're receiving off of it, so it will be the first one. Okay. Good question. All right. And then that's a good thing to make sure we update and look at and make sure it's good and right and, all the things. You real young for that. Yeah, somebody sold you something. It's all right. Yeah, they sold you something. They didn't care in that they got good commission, but they sold you something. It's different. Okay? Number 6, any other questions? We're okay? All right, number 6. Now, I asked it wrong. How's the family? All right, good. Number 6. Imagine in the last 3 months, the overall market lost $25,000 of its value. A stock you own lost 25%. Let me put that into a perspective. You have $100,000. In one day, you lost $25,000. What would you do? What? Cry? Now, I want to be very clear that the value of that $100,000 went down to $75,000. Let me say it again. The value of that $100,000 went down to $75,000. What would you do? Circle your answer. I would sell everything. I just need to get out. That's the first one. Sell all my shares. That's what that meant. Get out. Second, the next one says sell some of my shares. I'm going to sell some of it. The other one says I'm going to do nothing. I'm just going to sit and let it ride. Or I'm going to buy more shares. That's number 8. I don't have an answer for you. What's your answer? Cry and buy. That's what she said. Okay, do nothing. That's no problem. No answer's bad. Do what you would do. But you got a whole lot of education today. There you go. Tiffany said, I know what I'm supposed to do, but what do I want to do? What am I really going to do, right? Yeah. You're going to do what makes you uncomfortable if it's against the principles that you learned today, because that's what happens. When you learn something new, your mind's stretched and expand. Yeah. Now the uncomfortable feeling of that stretch is just the uncomfortable feeling, but you're at a different place. Are you going to go back to the darkness, or are you going to stay in the light? Oh, that's an analogy for you, right? You got to ask yourself that question. Am I going to go back? What they said, who Lot's wife looked back. The Lord turned into a pillow of salt. Oh! That's how you got to think about it. But it's okay. Do what you feel is best because it's your document. The important part is that you were educated today. Deacon Thomas did a great job. And the information that you received is nothing if you don't take action. That's right. That's how it works. Everybody got an answer? Yes. Now, in my example, I put number 8 in the example. Everybody do what you want to do. I'm going to keep going. Y'all funny. All right, number 7. This is kind of a chart, an analogy chart that kind of goes back to what you learned about the rule of 72. Did anybody write down what the definition or what's the formula for the rule of 72?
Take 72 and divide it by the rate of interest, and that gives you the number of years compounded interest.
All right, so it gives you the number of years that takes your money to double. So 72 divided by, and if you're online, this is really for you, 72 divided by the interest rate tells you how many years it takes your money to double. All right, so in this example, it says they've outlined some recently best and worst case scenarios. From those scenarios, what would you like for your most acceptable outcome? So I'm going to do A, C, and E. You can read the rest. A says the average is 7%. The best case is 16, and the worst case is a negative 5%. So that means you could lose because there's risk and reward, right? All right, that's the first one. C says, because I don't want to read them all, you can read, average is 10%, best case is 33%, worst case, value would drop 18%. And then the last one, E says, average 12%. Best case, we had a good year, 50%, but I got the chance to lose about 28%. What would be your feeling of risk in that? Now, if you like, I don't know, take 72 divided by that average at least and see what you like. How long do you want your money to double? How fast do you want it to double? What do you feel like you can handle? You put your number. I'll give you a moment. Deacon Thomas, I like the education on the front end before this. It's a good twist. They understand very well. It's good. They doing their numbers and stuff. Ooh, that's exciting. Yes. You do your average. The best you can. Yeah, you can. That's you going deep. That's good. Yeah. You're like, what can I do? Yeah. We want that thing to double every year, at least. That's wonderful. That means my 10,000 can be 20,000 in a year. Yeah, that's a lot. That's good. Everybody got a number? Still working on it? Still working? Say still working. Okay, got a few. If you're online and you're looking at this information, make sure you follow along with the questions and just circle your answers, because the same thing we can do, you'll be able to see in case you didn't get the online download. It's okay. You'll be able to go step by step with us with the numbers, and then when we get to the last page, you can still get your risk tolerance. So don't not participate. You can still participate if you're online. All right, everybody have a number? Okay. Need 10, 30 seconds? No? All right, we're moving because y'all ain't talking to me, so I'm going to look at you. All right, what you're going to do next, just in case you're already completed, is you're going to calculate number 3 through 7. Calculates number 3 through 7 with the numbers that you circled. Add them together, and that number goes into your risk tolerance. Calculate 3 through 7, all your numbers that you circled. In my example, the number was 28 in the example that was provided. Anybody have a number? Yep. Call them out. 24, 26, 27, 28, 19. What'd you say? 29. Somebody said it's something with a 2. I missed it. 22. Got it. Okay. All right. Good. We got numbers. The numbers are good, so that means you've added it up, and then next you're going to go to the chart that's on the next page. In that chart, on the left side of your page, it says time horizon. That first number you had, that first number goes on the side. Find that spot. And then the second number is across the top. Find that spot and meet them in the middle. You can look at the example on the screen. Find the number on the left, which was the first number we calculated, and then find the number at the top, which is the last number you just calculated, your risk tolerance, and you will get some kind of answer. Conservative, moderately conservative, moderate, moderately aggressive, or aggressive. I can tell you I'm an aggressive investor. That's me, right? But my personality, investment personality, is going to be different from Miss Lisa's. It's going to be different from Miss Alfreda's. Everybody's going to be very different, right? So don't think that yours is bad. Nothing is bad about what you put on paper. The fact is that you know more than, I'm going to say, about 60% of Americans, because most people don't know this information. Just have something. Everybody have something? What kind of investor are you? Moderately aggressive. Conservative. Conservative. On the border of moderate and moderately aggressive? Okay. All right, good, good, good. Anybody aggressive? Not yet? That's all right. The more you learn, the more you come on up there. Moderate and moderately aggressive? Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. Guess what? The more you learn, the more aggressive you become. And that's just how it works. And if you're, depending on your age as well, where you are in life, that's what you're doing right now, right? That's what kind of personality you need with your money, so that's okay. So Deacon Thomas, I'll turn this one back over to you for you to go over the categories in that section. Yeah, we're good to go. All right. I know, right? I clicked it real fast. Thank you.
All right, you guys see the categories. Testing. Okay, this is the important part. If you notice, got conservative, moderate allocation, moderately aggressive, and aggressive. Now, what's important about this, if you notice this area right in here, it says the average annual return is going to be around 9.9% or 10%, right? It says the best year you can expect is around 34%, and the worst year is around 29.5. So if you're looking at your particular chart, what's your best year and your worst year? Now, the reason I'm asking this because let's say you are a moderate, aggressive investor, but let's say you're 5 years away from retiring. Do you want to take a 29% loss? That means you had $100,000 inside your account and it went down $30,000. Would you be okay with that 5 years before you retire? Are you kind of getting this now? So when she set your goals, how far are you from retirement? That's why it's so important to plan around the conservative approach. If I got a person 5 years from retirement, do I want them to be a moderate, aggressive investor? No. I want them to be down here. It says that I'm on right here at 12.5%. You see that? I want them to be somewhere in there. So what does that mean? That means their particular chart right here is going to be set up like a pie chart. This moderate aggressive pie chart, this is what it says. It says cash investments 5%. You see that? Look inside the chart. It's going to tell you exactly where the money needs to go. It says large cap. This blue area right here is large cap. That's a large capital investment. You should have 45% of your money in that. When I say large cap, we're talking about companies that's got $10 billion or more that they're worth. That could be a Walmart. That could be a Microsoft. They're saying that 45% of your money needs to be invested there. Then it says fixed income. That's cash position or bond position, 15%. Then it says international equity, 20%. Then it says small cap. These are small companies between $300 million and $10 million that your money should be invested in. So this kind of diversifies your portfolio. That means that Each one of these categories down here, money is being invested. That's called diversification. Everybody got that? So on your charts, do you see that? Diversification. Any questions about that? So if your chart says you're a certain type of investor, you should take in consideration what before you believe in that chart? Where you are, right? What your goals are, right? Yeah. And is investing strictly for long-term retirement, guys? Is investing strictly for long-term retirement? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, let me tell you about the Roth IRA real quick, because I kind of just kind of fall in love with that Roth IRA. Let's say you're putting $6,500 a year inside of a Roth IRA, and you've done that for 5 years. That's about $33,000 you've invested, right? And let's say that thing has grown to $50,000. Now, here's the beauty of a Roth IRA. 5 years, you got $50,000 in your account. You had a major emergency come up. You need $10,000 like yesterday. Did you know you can go inside that Roth IRA and take that $10,000 out, never pay taxes on it, and never pay penalties on it? You got that kind of flexibility. Now, Charles, how can you do that? Well, the Roth IRA is designed something called basis. Basis is what you put in. That means anything you put in, you can take out without any kind of penalty or taxes. You got it? Now, everything over what you put in, which is called profits, right? If you take that out before age 59 and a half, then you're going to pay taxes and penalties on that, the profit. But always remember, the basis you can take out anytime you get ready. Pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, if you're over 59 and a half, you can take the profit out too without taxes. So it just kind of depends on where you are. That's why I say you can use a Roth IRA as an investment. You can use that as a savings account. Because guess what? You got access to the money. Right? So investing is exciting. Investing makes you an owner. And I'm going to challenge you today. Think about all the places you spend money at. And I'm going to show you one of them here in a minute. But I want you to think about the place you spend money at. I want you to write them down. I want you to now think about how much is their stock and how much it was up this year. I'm going to show you, okay? Let's see what's next on the chart here. Building a portfolio means choosing a mix of investments tailored to your goals and your risks. We just talked about that, your risk, where you are. Investing isn't just about profits. It's also about values, ethically and socially. Responsible investing allows you to invest in companies aligned with your beliefs and values. There may be a company out there that build weapons to kill people. You might not want to be a part of that. You have a choice whether you want to invest in that company or not. That makes sense. There may be a cannabis company out there that you don't want to invest in cannabis because you don't believe in what they believe in. So make sure when you invest, you're investing in companies that you feel good about. Lisa, you got a question?
So with the person that's educating you to and what to invest in,
Uh-huh.
would they know that? Like, I don't know what a large cap equity is.
Absolutely.
The person that you hire or talk with,
Yeah, they're going to walk you through that. They should maybe help you with that.
help you to, when you're fixing to buy whatever you just said, that
Like just,
large manufacturer of guns.
yeah.
They would know that.
Yeah. Well, you can do that too. We're going to take you to some sites today where you can go investigate a company. They'll tell you everything they're doing, how they invest, and who's managing their money, the whole works. So you'll be able to do a lot of it on your own too. Good question. Any more questions? Go ahead.
Of the investment, can you explain what net unrealized income is, please?
We talking about inside the investing?
The stocks, yeah.
Yeah, what she's talking about is net unrealized income. Let's say you got a mutual fund, and there's a lot of trading going on inside that particular mutual fund. And that mutual fund could be generating a tax liability to you because of the unrealized gains inside the mutual fund. And a lot of times you will get like a 1099 on that kind of stuff. But keep in mind, though, the returns on that is going to far outweigh what the taxes are. Especially if it's inside of a Roth IRA or 401k, you won't realize those gains. That's in what we call taxable accounts. You wouldn't realize those taxable gains. We like to call it a naked investment. A naked investment means that you don't have any kind of tax shelter around it. The money's not growing tax deferred. Just say you went out and bought you a mutual fund, and you just invest that mutual fund every month. At the end of each year, 12 or 13 months, you can realize the capital gains on that particular investment. When I say capital gains works two ways. If you have an investment more than 12 months or 13 months, that's called a long-term capital gains. The federal government wants you to hold your investments longer to grow, so they give you a break. Typically on long-term capital gains, the tax only be somewhere around 10 or 15%. That's the beauty of it. Now, if you go back inside that investment before that 12-month period, you're going to have to pay ordinary income tax on that, which could be 30 to 35%. So the federal government is encouraging you to do what? Hold your investments longer. That's even on a naked investment. That's not a Roth IRA. That's not a 401k. You just go when you bought you a mutual fund, you invested for 12, 13 months, you got profits. Now you want to go in there and take the profits out. You pay the capital gains tax on it, which is long-term, between 10 and 15%. So it's still less than ordinary income tax. Everybody got that? Beautiful that you understand that. Let's go here. So your next move, before we get into other stuff, is good planning. Reduce your debt as income reduces, guys. If your income goes down, find a way to reduce your debt, okay? Pay yourself first. Use reverse savings for education if you have to. Can somebody tell me what that means when I say that? Reverse savings for education. Nobody knows, do they? Let's say you've got a kid that you want to save money for the whole period to send them to college, but you never got around to saving money. But let's say the kid qualifies for a student loan. He goes out and gets a student loan for $40,000 going to take care of his education. Can you work with that student of yours and say, if you graduate, I'll pay half of your $40,000 loan and you pay the other half? That's called reverse savings, using somebody else's money to accomplish the same goal. Now, why am I saying half or $40,000 or $50,000? How much does a new car cost these days? How much? Minimum 35 to 50, right? And how many years they give you to pay it off? 5, 6 years, right? So if you got a kid that really wants to go to college, they're bright, money should not stop them. Get the money, get the loan. Make a deal with them, though, that you'll help pay it back. You just reversed the situation, took all the anxiety out of it. You didn't save the money. Just go. It's like buying a car. Pay it off in 6 or 7 years. Everybody got that? Don't get stressed out by the education when you can reverse how you got the money, by using their money. Understand the benefits of a business owner. And Candace has talked about this over and over again. I'm going to talk about it again. If you don't own some kind of part-time business, some kind of side hustle, I don't care if it's Avon, Tupperware, Network Marketing, I don't care what it is, you need it for tax purposes. You need it for tax purposes. That means you can take anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 a year and take it off the top of your income like you never made it before, by understanding the power of owning a business from home. Do not discount that. That's money that goes directly back into your pocket. Minimize your taxes. That's what the business ownership talks about. That's what the W-4 was all about. Increase your cash flow and use debt dollars and tax savings to create wealth. Now, what did I just say? We found the money in debt, didn't we? Right? We found the money with the W-4 in tax savings, right? We started some kind of little business. We got an extra $1,000 a month coming in that wasn't coming in before because we used strategies. You take that $1,000 a month, I don't get the $500 a month, and then you start investing heavily. Everybody got that? You can recapture your time lost in investing by using new strategies if you understand what's on this screen right here. Okay? Any questions concerning this stuff? Yes. Rental property, absolutely. It's a business. Yeah, her question was talking about the businesses I'm talking about. She says, would you consider rental properties as owning a part-time business? Absolutely. Absolutely, just make sure it's structured properly. Very important. So you can benefit all the tax deductions from owning property. Any kind of business, guys. If you can do a consulting job on the side, let me tell you why it's so important. Let's give you an example. Let's say you're driving your car extra 10,000 miles a year. And part of that 10,000 miles going to trips and stuff for a business, the tax write-off of that is about 60 cents a mile. That's $6,000 just on your car that comes off the top of your income like you never made it before. You got that? If you're spending $200 a month for your cell phone, that's $2,400 a year. That's another $8,000. Now we're up to $8,000. And let's say you're spending $100 for your internet at home to go online, look at your sites and stuff. Now we're up to $1,200. That's almost $10,000 that you can income shift of money you're already spending. Take it off the top of your income like you never made it, take the excess money, start paying down debt and investing. Can't you, tax lady? Is that possible? Can they do that? Legally? Okay. Question. Please.
I raised my kids poor. I didn't know any of this stuff. My kids lived paycheck to paycheck. They didn't get good stuff. I've got grandkids now, and you just gave me the hope that I could help my granddaughter because I didn't save any money for my grandkids to go to school.
That's right.
And you just gave me hope.
That's right. That's right. Hey.
The first time I paid off a credit card, it just paid off another credit card last week.
Look at it. Congratulations. An action taker. She's an action taker. You got it? Lisa, congratulations. Everybody give her a hand. Give her a hand again. Congratulations. Yeah. And Lisa, we get those stories all across the church and everywhere. I got a deacon brother I sat down with 7, 8 years ago. He came, he was in the last class. Candace, you remember the last class we had this fall? He came into class. He said, I'm totally debt free. My house paid off, my car's paid off, my credit cards, my student loans paid off. And he's barely in his 40s because he took the strategies, he put them to work. He was focused. He was radical about his money. See, when you get radical and you find your why, when you find I don't want to waste this money. I don't want to waste $3.33 a day because in 20 years that cost me $75,000. I could invest it. When you get that, you start watching your money. You start saying, you know what, I can hire my money. I put my money to work. So Lisa, we're proud of you, okay? So anyway, let's go and yeah, go ahead. Well, we're all raised uneducated. Okay. Yeah. Well, I understand what you're saying, but the objective is for us to take this class and pay it forward. And pay it forward. That's right. That's right. So when our financial world is out of alignment, so are our decisions. Impact on money, relationships, and the ability to reach important goals is understanding your money and making it first. Now, Cass, I need your help. Let's go we'll look at a few funds here to kind of show them what it looks like. You guys want to see some funds that make a lot of money that you can participate in? Yeah. All right, we're going to do that now. Any questions while she's pulling up? Let's go to Yahoo Finance, Candace.
Okay, I got a question for
or
you.
Morningstar. Yahoo. Yeah, you guys write this down. Yahoo Finance is a good place to go look up companies and find out what they're doing and how well they're doing.
So Deacon Thomas, sometimes whenever we're doing the class and we're going through stuff, some of us feel like we just don't make enough money. But is it really that we don't make enough money, or we're just not doing the right things with the money that we're making?
You guys hear what she said? Sometimes we feel like we're not making enough money, right? Yeah. Like we just talked about finding that $3.33 a day, didn't we? Yeah. That coffee you didn't buy today, or that lunch you didn't go with your girlfriends today. You got the money. It's inside your hands. You just got to find it and put it to work. Remember that $100 a month we was talking about there earlier? You got it, guys. A lot of you got more than that, but I'm just saying the minimum is $100 a month. But let's go first to Fidelity Investments first. I'm gonna give you 3 websites. FidelityInvestments.com. I'm gonna go there. Fidelity Investments is a site that's kind of like an educational college. It's got so much stuff in it you can learn, it's ridiculous. Then I want you to go to Yahoo Finance, another good one, yahoofinance.com. And also Morningstar.com. Morningstar. Morningstar is an individual rating agency. They don't work for Fidelity, anybody else. They rate different funds and companies how well they're doing. Yahoo Finance is a reporting agency. They report inside their charts how well companies are doing, so you know where to invest your money or not to invest your money there. And Fidelity, I'm going to take you there because that's where a lot of you guys can go and start an account for as little as $25, like tonight. Yeah, like today. So we'll go to Fidelity first. Take a look at that. It's not on the screen. Is she coming up?
Oh, it's not on the screen?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
1 second.
So we say technology is pretty hot, right? If technology is hot, shouldn't you guys be investing in technology? Okay. What's hot in technology? What's the big fight over Taiwan about? What is that about over there with China and the United States and everybody wanting Taiwan? Do anybody know what the big fight is about? What is it? Kind of. Not quite. What is it about? Yeah. Taiwan is the largest builder of semiconductors in the world. Semiconductors, little bitty chips that go inside your cars and computers and stuff like that. Taiwan is the largest in the world. And China say we want Taiwan back. The U.S. say you can't have Taiwan. But we got a company right here in the United States, though, that is doing real well. But when you go to Fidelity Investments, I'm going to walk you through this. I want you to go to where it says, what is it, planning or products? Where is it? Yeah, products. Everybody see where it says products? You got your phones, you can follow me through this. Go through products, go to where it says mutual funds. Write these down, mutual funds. And this is where Fidelity acts like a college. You scroll down where it says exploring, keep scrolling down to the bottom. Right there. You see that? It says explore all funds. That's Morningstar, highly rated funds. It says explore all funds. Okay? And we're going to click on that. Now we're going to set the criteria right here. We want 4-star or better funds that's rated by Morningstar. 4-star or better. We want returns midway, right there. Or no, high returns, high returns. We want expenses midway. Everybody see that? Everybody write that down. Okay? Then we're going to scroll down. You see where it says 297 funds? Morningstar, inside their system, has identified 297 funds that fit what we just asked for. 4-star or better, medium expenses, but high returns. Now we're going to click on those 297 funds to see who Morningstar is going to show us. This is Morningstar on Fidelity's site. Okay, we'll stop right there. Anybody see the very first fund that Morningstar is recommending? What is that? It says Fidelity Select Semiconductors Portfolio. Semiconductors, we just talked about that? Now, it says year to date, if you would put money in this fund in January of 2023, that fund would have returned 50.7%. That's a mutual fund managed by Fidelity and not some fund or some guy trying to manage for you. It's managed by a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Now, one of the things you want to look at when you're buying mutual funds is their history. Did they have a good history of managing their funds? Now, take a look at this fund. Look at the 10-year history. See that 10-year history? 23.44% for the last 10 years. That means over the last 10 years, you would have averaged over 20% on your money each year. Now watch this. It says the life of the fund, 13.62%. Now, let's go inside this fund and take a look. Let's go look in it. Now we're going to go look inside the fund, and this is the fund symbol right here. FSELX is the fund symbol, okay? Morningstar gives us a snapshot. This is the overall rating. This is a 5-star fund. Returns are high, expenses are low, risk category about moderately risky. Not real risky, but moderately risky. It gave you the total I just gave you guys. If you bought this fund October last year, you'd have about 48.32% return on it. If you'd have bought it 3 years ago, you'd have averaged 20%. If you'd have bought it 5 years ago, you'd average 26%. If you bought it 10 years ago, you would have averaged 23.4%. These are real documented numbers, and they have not been changed. Now, let's go look over here in the details area. It's a technology fund. See that? The fund started in what? 19 what? Is that 28 years ago? This fund started 28 years ago, and it's averaged almost 14% for 28 years. Is that a good fund? So as you're looking at these funds, let's go take a look at the last 10 years. Let's go up there where it says performance and risk. You see that right there? Performance and risk. Let's scroll down, and we're going to look at the last 10-year history. Up right there. No, that's not it. Well, go back there, right? Go back there and show you since you're there. Now, this is interesting too, guys. Take a look at this. If you had put $10,000 in this fund 10 years ago, this fund would have $82,000 in it today. Y'all see that? $82,000. Now, what can we compare this fund to determine if it's a good fund or not? You got something you call the S&P 500 index. I told you guys to study that. What is the S&P 500 index? It's an index of 500 of the largest companies in America, totally unmanaged. When I say unmanaged, that means they don't have a money manager managing it. They just got 500 companies, and they're tracking how well those companies are doing. Now, here's what's interesting. 85% of money managers do not outperform the S&P index. 85%. Only 15% of active money managers outperform this number right here. Is that amazing? So are these guys good or what with 82,000? Pretty good, aren't they? Could you trust them? Yeah. Absolutely. Let's scroll down a little bit further, Candace, and we'll look at the bottom of the page there. Oh, right there. There we go, right there. It takes us back to 2013, 10 years ago. The fund in 2013 had 39%, 38%, 2%, 32%, 35%, took a hit for 11%, down in 2018, went back up 64%, 44%, 59%, went down 35% last year, but is already back up 39% this year. So what do you think? You think these guys do pretty well? So guys, that's how simple it is to look at a mutual fund and see whether or not it's somewhere you want to put your money. Now here's the other thing. Let's look at the composition of the fund, Candace. Go back to the top and hit the composition. Got a question, somewhere?
Well, I couldn't find Fidelity Investments. It says fidelity.com.
Yeah, fidelity.com. That's it.
Fidelity.com?
Yeah, I think it's Fidelity. Yeah, fidelity.com. Uh-huh. We'll go to the composition. Oh, okay. Yeah. Inside, when you pull this fund up, it's got like a composition right here. It tells me where these guys investing their money. So we're going to look at that. Where are these guys investing their money? So you're going to click on composition right there. Okay. As you can see right here, take a look at this. 85% of all their investments going into semiconductors, 13% in materials and equipment. This is strictly semiconductors fund. Down here it says the top 10 holdings. Come up a little bit. All right, stop right there. The top 10 holdings is NVIDIA. They got NXP, all these technology companies in here. Now, let me ask you guys a question. If NVIDIA is their top holdings, let it tell you something? If you're going to go out and buy a stock right now, if they got it inside their portfolio, should you put it in your portfolio? Can us open up another site real quick and go to Yahoo Finance for me real quick. Yahoo Finance. And we're going to put in NVIDIA. What is the symbol on that? NV. There it is right there, NVIDIA Corporation. Yeah, there it is. All right. That stock right now says it's $450, doesn't it? Let's go down and take a look at it down here and see how well this performs. So scroll down here, see? Hit this 1 year area right here, Candace. 1 year, right there. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Hit the 1 year chart right there. Yeah. Yeah, 1 year. Year to date, I'm sorry. Year to date. Year to date, there you go. Yeah. It's $450 per shares. Everybody got that? So if you wanted to buy a share of NVIDIA, it'd cost you $450, wouldn't it? Right? But what I said earlier, you can buy what? Fractional. So could you buy $50 worth? Could you buy $100 worth? If they go up, does your money go up? All right, we got it. If you notice right here, if you notice back in January, right there, what was the price of NVIDIA? What is that, Candace Reed? It was $168 back in January of this year. Y'all see that? It was $148. Now, what's the price right now? Is that over 200% return? Y'all see that? Guys, there's no reason why you can't grow your portfolios. But you got to get the information. You got to take action. That makes sense? Candace, while you're there, go to Spotify, S-P-O-T. Everybody heard of Spotify? Go to Spotify, S-P-O-T. Yeah, let's see what they've done. Spotify is at $169 a share. What was it a year? But put that year to date there. I want to see how well it's done. Okay, how much was it then back there? How much was it? It was $83 in January. How much is it now? Did it double? Was that 100% return? Yeah. You see, all we're doing is investing in stuff we already know about. Let's go to another one real quick. I want to go to, let's go to SLNO. SLNO. Yeah, that's them right there. Y'all see what that costs? $23.18, right? Candace, how much was it back in, how much was it? Y'all hear that? It was $2 back in January. As of right now, it's up 1,000% this year. See?
Is it too late? No.
Are y'all listening? Guys, you got to get radical about investing. But the first line I would say, build your mutual fund accounts up, first of all, okay? Second of all, be up some individual stock accounts. Let's look at some companies that we know about every day. Go to Meta, M-E-T-A, Meta. Meta is Facebook. How much is theirs? 300 what? Candace, go back to the year. How much was it back in January? $130.
Wow.
Did y'all see that? Y'all know about Facebook. Y'all own it all the time. Why don't you own it, see? Am I getting through to you now? Invest in the stuff that you enjoy. They're technology companies. These guys are blue chippers. They're not going anywhere. They split that stock last year. They split Google last year. Go to Google real quick. Let's take a look at Google.
You know, Wiseman, when we were We did class last year when they split the stock, and we told them to buy the stock when they were splitting it because they were getting like double for the price of one.
That's right.
I remember that.
Remember that, don't you? Let's go to a year and see how well Google done this year. Let's see.
See,
They had 130 right now. What were they at back in January?
$88.
$88. They up 50% this year. 50%. Any questions about what we're looking at?
How do you do that?
Oh, she want to know how. I was wondering, somebody going to ask me how you do that. The way you do that, guys, you go to Charles Schwab or you go to Fidelity and you open up a brokerage account. Write this down. Go to Fidelity or Charles Schwab and open you up a brokerage account. Okay? And they will walk you through step by step how to set that brokerage account up. And when you set that brokerage account up, it's going to allow you to put money just like putting it inside of a bank account, inside your brokerage account. When you put that money inside your brokerage account, you can go in there and buy stocks just like buy at Amazon. All right? So I think what we'll do, remind me to send them a YouTube video on how to do that. Hey, make sure you got Charles Schwab. Okay, I like Fidelity, but you've got to have a Charles Schwab. You've got to.
So Deacon Thomas, it only takes them 10 minutes to do it. And if they go through and click open an account and they don't understand something, they're 24 hours. They can call them.
Did you guys hear that? They're 24 hours. You go to the site, you click on open account, and they're 24 hours. They'll walk you through it. You don't need any money to open the account.
No.
Open the account, attach it to your bank account so when you get ready to put money in there, it'll transfer directly from your bank account, your savings or whatever. And it's top security. Yes.
If I don't understand, can I still call a wise man like Charles Thomas?
Nope. I'm gonna say no. He's not gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. You should call the number because they're 24/7. You're gonna be on a timeline. If he doesn't answer the phone, then you're gonna time out. You gotta start over. So I'm gonna say call the number because it's simple from a opening an account perspective. Yeah, just call the number. I promise. They're nice 24/7. Call them.
And they really will walk you through it.
They would. Charles Schwab.
Schwab. Open, no. Open two accounts. Open
Not
two
Charles
accounts.
Thomas.
What's that?
Not Charles Thomas.
Yeah,
Charles Schwab.
Charles
Yeah,
Schwab.
Charles Schwab. Open two brokerage accounts, one with Fidelity and one with Charles Schwab. Now, why did I say that? Well, Fidelity is going to have some funds and things on their particular site that you can't buy on Charles Schwab's site. Fidelity also is going to have some funds on their site that are not their funds. They're going to require you between $1,000 and $5,000 just to buy those funds. And that same fund on Charles Schwab may only cost you $100. So make sure whatever funds you're looking at on Fidelity, write down the symbols each time. Write down the symbols, okay? Yeah. Oh, yes, it's right there in front of you, the fractional trading. You can put it inside the search engine, fractional buying or whatever. It's right there for you, okay?
Can they purchase when they open a brokerage account, can they also open a Roth IRA under Charles Schwab as well?
Absolutely. You guys got that? She wanted to know, when you open your brokerage accounts under Charles Schwab, can you also open a Roth IRA account? Yes. Now remember, the Roth IRA is not an investment, right? It's what? A title, what it's called, right? When you open that Roth IRA on Fidelity or Charles Schwab, it's got to be funded, right? So when you open it, we're going to go pick one of these mutual funds for you to put your money in. That's what's going to fund it. Or stock, that's what's going to fund it. Everybody got it? But you got to get them open, and hopefully when you guys come see me, you have them already open, okay? That's real important to try to have them already open and where they need to be. And we'll try to kind of walk you through a strategy if necessary, okay? But like Candace said, they are friendly and they will help you. Now let's go look at one other thing. I'm trying to show you guys some stuff. You guys ever heard of Abercrombie and Finch? Yes. Do it. A&F, I think is their name. A&F. Let's click on them. Let's kind of take a look at them. The current stock is at $65.50. We're gonna go look at a year ago. What was it a year ago?
$25.
$25. So that means they're up a little over 100%. You got that? Now, why did I pick Abercrombie and Finch? No idea, do you? They've been shifting their whole business model. They're getting out of the big box stores and malls, and they're driving their business online. And that's what's driving that price. You see that?
Cut their expenses.
Yeah, technology is here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. It's here to stay. Question?
Would you suggest we do one that we give our full share or one that's at a fraction of the belly? It's a better rate.
It doesn't matter either way.
Either way, okay.
If you got if I had $500, I was going to invest. You know, I'd get me some Meta, I'd get me some Coinbase, I'd get me some Uber. Let's go to Uber real quick. The reason I'm calling these names, guys, because they're in your face every day. Uber or Coinbase. Coinbase is a company that handles Bitcoin. It's the only really registered one in the whole state of in the United States. But take a look at Uber. What was it a year ago?
$26.
$26 a year ago. Uber. How much is it now? Okay. Is that almost 100% return? Just on Uber. Go to DoorDash. Go to DASH dash. DoorDash. Okay? Let's see DoorDash. $92. DoorDash, $92. How much was it a year ago?
$48.
$48. Almost double. I'm telling you these things because they're right in front of you every day. The pandemic has forever changed the way we buy. The DoorDashes, the Spotifys, the Ubers, the Airbnbs, the Amazons, that's where our economy is going. And you need to be an owner in that part of the economy right in front of you. It's not difficult. Like I was telling her earlier, if I had $500, I'm buying me some Amazon, I'm buying me some Nvidia, I'm buying me some Tesla, I'm buying me, probably going to buy some MicroStrategy, which is MSTR. Go to MSTR, Candace, MicroStrategy. Probably going to buy some Carvana. Let's go to MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy, $453. How much was it a year ago, Candace?
$160.
$160. Why MicroStrategy? They're big-time Bitcoin believers. They took their whole retirement monies and everything and put it all in Bitcoin. That's what's driving their sales. Let's take a look at this one last one here. Go to Carvana, CVNA. Anybody heard of Carvana? Yes. Okay, let's take a look at them. What is it? $32.28. How much was it a year ago, Candace?
$4.
Did y'all see that? $4.41 a year ago. Carvana is up 581%. So all you got to do is pay attention to what's going on around you, or get you a good financial advisor that know all this stuff. Shameless plug, but 35, 40 years makes a difference. What you learn, how to do it, right? What I'm trying to say, guys, don't miss out on your money for being cheap.
That's right.
There's a cost to do everything. There's a cost not to do it, and there's a cost to do it. And you have to figure out which cost is going to cost you the most.
Deacon Thomas, I'm a shameless plug you for a second, right? One of the things, so earlier when she said, well, can I just call you if I don't understand how to set up the account? One of the things we have to understand is that we used to use our resources at its max. I'm going to call Deacon Thomas when I got my list of questions, when I'm ready to have a meeting, when I got my appointment, my account set up already, because when I sit with him, that's worth easily $300 an hour. That's what he charges for services. And he's not going to tell you that because this is a free class. But what I'm saying is you're going to sit down with him for free, and most times there's no appreciation in free. I'm helping you to show appreciation for free, okay? So he's going to come, and he's going to sit with you, and he's going to talk to you, he's going to give you all this amazing stuff for free, maximize it and use your time wisely when you sit with him because it's valuable. So no, when I said no, don't call him to set your account up. No, call them. That's what they get paid for, right? He's wanting to help you, but you got to help yourself first. Have your list of questions ready, have everything ready to go, and your accounts are set up and you ready, because it's valuable, And he's not gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you, just because I want you to maximize your time with him. Like, that's a big deal. And we do this class for free, but this stuff costs money, and most people pay thousands of dollars for it. So it's super valuable what we do as our church, and to have a man like Deacon Thomas in our presence is amazing. So I just want to make sure y'all know that.
Thank you. Thank you, Candace. Thank you a bunch. Yes, sir. Okay. You got a mic coming to you.
Well, first question is, where can I go to kind of research myself and kind of educate myself on some of the symbols you just went, a good publication or a news source to kind of go read myself and kind of see the trends, if you will?
Morningstar, Yahoo Finance are actually the two best ones, because if you're looking at a company, they're going to have everything on there you want. Like, if we're on Yahoo Finance right now, scroll down on that thing down there. It'll have all kind of stories about Carvana stock, soaring earnings surprise, key profit metrics. It's going to have all that stuff on there. Also, I would suggest, if you want to invest in stocks or mutual funds, there's a book called by somebody, Dummy, Investing in Mutual Funds. It's like a yellow book. Investing for Dummies. Okay. It'd be a good book to add in your portfolio to kind of read through and understand stuff. But once you get in there and start just identifying companies, growth companies, you'll find out, let me go check this company out. You can go to Google and say, hey, let me Google the top 5 technology companies right now, growth companies. Google give you a list. Then you go plug it into these systems, and they'll start telling you about these companies. And that's how you start learning that. Yeah.
Other question is, how do you kind of, you went through a lot of symbols and tickers and whatnot. How do you kind of, a good mutual fund that kind of has a mix of everything, how do you research that? So if you want to Google or Apple, how do you find a good mutual fund that has them all in that one mutual fund? Or
good question. Let's go take a look at a mutual fund that has all that stuff in it. Go back to Fidelity Investments, Candace, and go back to the very first fund. Yeah, research mutual funds. A good question. We're going to talk about how to identify that. Now, we over here, you can go up on the category classes over there. Can't go up on the category classes right there. Let's see, international, municipal bonds, sector. Come on that sector. Come down, hit sector. No, come down. Hit the sector section. Scroll down. Right there, right there. We're going to go sector. You see the sectors right there? There are 27 funds in the sectors. Sectors, like if I want to just invest in technology, healthcare, whatever, it all pop up. So right now we're going to select sector. Same areas, we're going to click on those funds and see what they got for us. Okay. From a technology perspective, they got these funds listed: construction, semiconductors, insurance, construction, FANG, healthcare. Yeah, go to the technology section. Yeah, because you can actually pull up the technology section, look at the different kind of funds. That's why I tell you, if you guys can get on Fidelity, it's like a small classroom. It walks you through everything step by step. The mutual fund research, the whole works. It's right there in front of you. The thing I want you to know is stuff is out here, and you don't have to. Let's come back to see. Technology. You put in alphabetical order? Okay. Yeah. Okay. And guys, I'm not going to charge you $300 an hour either, okay? You know, make sure I get that clear. Make sure I get that clear. But you know, I appreciate the young kids. You know, I appreciate that Tiffany been around for the last 6, 7 years. Kansas been around for the last 6, 7 years. You know, I draft all these kids so when I'm gone, you know, they can keep this thing going. You know what I mean? Because I can't take it with me. I said the second half of my life is about sharing. And that's what, and I'm glad they're willing to learn. And that way we can keep things moving and moving and moving. Yeah. Huh? I think so. I think they're recording for YouTube too. Yeah. Let's do this, Candace. Go to Google and Google the top technology fund that's got Amazon and all the technologies in them. Just go Google it. Let's see what. Watch this. Top technology funds with Amazon, Google, etc. Yeah. And watch what happens. There's one right there. Drexel. Let's go take a look at that one. The very first one. Yeah. Yep. Matter of fact, I think it's ETF. That's one of my funds. Let me look at that. That caught my attention there. Yeah. Go to, Kansas, go to FNGU. Oh, really? Put in FNGU. That's going to be on Yahoo, I think. FNGU. FNGU. Yeah. Yeah, micro sectors fund. Y'all see that? I can't remember that start. What was that when it started? It's $41. I knew that fund when it popped up. That's the one right there. It's a good fund. They call it a FANG index fund. And we see FANG up there. We see FANG on a fund. That's Facebook, Netflix, Google, and Amazon. That's what they stand for. It's called a FANG stock or fund. Okay? Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, plus index of 3 others.
So if you go to holdings, you can actually see exactly what you just said.
Y'all see it? Facebook, Tesla, see all those companies that you're asking about, bro? Yeah. Y'all see it? All the top holdings right there. And here's another good one, too. Can you put in NUDL? I'm going to give this one away to you guys. This one that a lot of clients pay for. NUDL. NUDL. It's not coming up? NUDL? Okay. Huh. Let's do this one here. Do TQQQ. There you go, right there. ProShares. You guys see this fund? It's TQQQ, called ProShares Ultra Pro. Kansas, what was that thing a year ago? It was at $17 a year ago. Right now it's at $37. It's almost at 200%. That's going to continue to grow, guys. So if you want to put that in your portfolio, make sure you put that in your portfolio. TQQQ. Here's another one, TECL. You guys see this one? It's on at $48. How much was it a year ago, Candace? 22. Yeah. Yeah, these are great companies. So use Google to help you find good companies. If you find the good companies, go and research them to check on their history. Everybody got that? Check on their history. History is everything. Candace, go back to Fidelity. I want to show them something else on that Fidelity too that's really important. We'll go back to the actual mutual funds, yeah. Now, when she scrolled down, guys, I always remember, go to Morningstar Highly Rated Funds. Morningstar is a rating service. They're a rating service. All right? Okay. Now, here's what I want to show you. Now, the first funds they showed were Fidelity funds. Can you scroll down some more? Now, stop right there. And you guys see that they got more than Fidelity funds that they're recommending. They got 297 funds, but they got, what's that, Investco Fund, Bridgeway, Avantis. They got AQR, long-term short equity class fund at 39% this year. They got PIMCO. You see all the funds on there? So as you go through there and research those funds, look at their history. History is everything. Look at the first 10 years. Look at the last 2 or 3 years. Make sure they're trending upwards. Make sure the management is doing what it's supposed to do. Quick question. What is a mutual fund? What is a mutual fund? Quick question. Absolutely. She going somewhere. Well, here you go. All right. We got a mutual fund. So when you buy a stock, what do you become? Owner? Okay. What's a fractional share? What is it? A fraction of a share? Just a portion? Okay. I like that. Can somebody tell me the what is dollar cost averaging?
Yep, they don't know. They had to look at their notes.
Investing a specific amount of money over time.
Give me an example of what that looks like. He says investing a certain amount of money over time.
So every pay period you invest $25, either biweekly or a month, in a specific fund over time, rather than a lump sum.
Okay. Now, what's the benefit of dollar cost averaging?
You catch, whether the stock falls or rises, you're gonna continue to either buy low, and you're gonna minimize, reduce your risk.
Okay.
Over time.
He gets it. He got it. Very good. So here's my other question. When the stock goes down, do you lose money? Why not? Oh, she said you don't lose money until you what? Put it out. Okay. This is good. This is good. Let's see here. Did we put the TECL in? TECL? We didn't? Let's put FBL in. I'm giving away all these good stocks here, man, I tell you. FBL, yeah. Let's go to that one right there. Yeah, see this one? This is Granite Shares 1.5 long, Meta Daily. What that means that these shares, they're tracking Facebook on a daily basis, and they're constantly managing these shares. What was it a year ago, Ken? I mean, what was it? $29. What is it now? Is that 200%, ladies and gentlemen? I keep showing you guys 200. Candace, go out of this and go to that annuity thing I need to show real quick. Go back on the documents. I didn't show you about it. Let me show you something real quickly about annuities for people who don't like risk. Okay? Let me show it to you real quick on annuities. Yeah, there it is. Annuities. Right there. Let's do that one. Scroll up to the top. Okay, can everybody see that? You make it a little bigger there? Okay. All right, good. Now, I told you guys earlier about something called an index annuity. Remember that? An index annuity is an annuity type product that came out about 10, 15 years ago, and every year it gets better and better and better. Here's an example of Oh, here it is. Yeah. Here's an example of a person with $100,000 right here. Everybody see $100,000? The green right here represents the annuity, and the red represents the stock market. Now, what I want to show you, this green annuity right here is tracking this stock market. It's tracking it, okay? It's not doing the full participation, but it's tracking it, and it's participating. It goes up, you see 98, it goes up to $136,000. You see that? Then we had the crash in 2001. It went from 136 all the way down to $78,000. You see that? Now, look what the annuity did. The annuity was tracking up. It had $125,000 in it. It was $136,000 here. It went down, but the annuity stayed the same. Now, right here, to $78,000 in 2002, it started growing. See how it grew? It grew to $145,000. What did the annuity do? It grew with it, didn't it? Then all of a sudden, it went down. What did the annuity do? Stayed the same. You see it? Now, that means that when this market goes down to negatives, the annuity doesn't make any money, but doesn't lose any money. You got it? Now, watch this. The market takes back off again. What does the annuity do? It takes back off again. At the end of the period, this annuity got $223,000 in it, which outperformed the market because it didn't take any losses. Y'all got that? Those are some of the safe investments that people are pulling their money out of their 401ks and they retire, they're rolling them over because they don't want their money at risk. Those are some of the places they're putting their money, okay, in annuities.
So Deacon Thomas, let's make it real plain. When I retire, I don't want my money to be losing. So it would be smart to call so we can figure out how to get this to work for us in some kind of plan. This
Absolutely.
is when we should be calling you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. If you got money laying around and investments and stuff, you're sitting there not doing anything, put it in your own RA account and watch it grow and make your own money. Okay? We try to simplify a lot of complex stuff. Okay? And here's a simple thing behind what I'm talking about. Investing is not hard when you understand how the money game works. So the question is, how does the money game work? The money game is based around return on investments. That means that every person in this room should be thriving, if you're not retired, to get double-digit returns. If you retired, you should be getting 6 and 8% a year, even retired. Everything is in the return. Excuse me, we got a banker in the room, but I got to tell you guys this. Excuse me, Marcus. When the banker is paying you 3, 4, 5%, that banker's portfolio return is probably somewhere around 18 to 24% on their monies. And all we're trying to do is show you how to invest like the banker to grow your money. Banks are great places to save money, to put in emergency funds, things of that nature. But if you're going to do any kind of long-term investing, sit down and talk to somebody that can walk you through and get you started. Because you saw the numbers. They're real numbers from Yahoo and Fidelity. I didn't get to half of them. The thing I'm trying to get you to understand, you're looking for good returns. You're looking for good money managers. You're looking for returns that's got at least a 10-year history of money managers. The S&P 500 is an index that most money managers track. Their job is to outperform the S&P 500. So when you look at a fund, you ought to make sure that fund has outperformed the S&P 500 because on every fund, it's got to be on there. Can I go back to the fund we looked at before? I want them to see this because this is the simplicity of buying mutual funds and also buying stocks. When you buy stocks, just go to Fidelity. Yeah, just click on any of those funds. Doesn't matter. Let's just click on that one, I guess. Yeah. Okay, here's a fund They've got a 1 year, 31.66, 10 years, 10.01. Let's go to performance. Hit the performance right there. Hit that performance. We scroll down, we're going to find the chart right here. This is a chart right here. This is a chart. Okay. This fund right here, you put $10,000 in it 10 years ago, you had $25,000 in it, and the index they're using is a Russell 2000 because it's a tech fund. The Russell had 18,000 in it, and the small value had 18,000 in it. The fund did okay, but can you imagine having 82,000 to 25,000 just by understanding what kind of fund to put your money in? Yeah, but that's what you want to go down and look at, the track records, and see how well they've done, okay? Always measure that fund against another benchmark. Any questions with me? I'm going to close her out. Any questions? Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, we'll probably get ready to go off of YouTube, so we're going to take a break and then do full Q&A to get all your stuff answered, personal stuff. All right? Yeah. Yeah. Her question is, how often should she be looking at her portfolio? Well, you want to rebalance your portfolio, I think, twice a year. Yeah, I look at mine about twice a year to make some rebalancing. When I say rebalancing, I might want to take a stock out, put one in, that kind of thing. What about mutual funds, though? I don't change those around a whole lot. When I buy one like that semiconductors, I got it for the long term because of the history. It's going to grow. It's going to do what it's got to do. But stocks, though, when you start building your stock portfolio, you got to definitely be moving with the trends because at some point, those stocks, you want to sell. When you get your profit, you want to take your profits, scroll back down, and get something that start over. And some of them are long term. Yeah. Of course, I didn't look at it during COVID. And when I went back, I was like, okay, you got this much cash value. What do you want to do with it? Absolutely. Yeah, it's time to do something with it, right? Yeah. So that's where you start moving stuff around and rebalancing and looking at the current trends, what's currently trending in the market. A lot of you guys can go to Google and ask Google, what categories are currently trending in the investment market. You can ask that question. It'll tell you. It would literally tell you what categories are trending. Okay? Yeah, question here. Okay. My question is that if you got a 401k on your job, and inside your 401k you got T. Rowe Price and things of that nature, with your 401ks, the 401k companies, they own your 401k. And most times you can't do anything to that 401k until you separate. So typically you have to, so you have to do business inside that 401k. Oh, yeah, yeah. If you separate it, then oh my God, you got to think about moving money. Yeah, you got to think about, no, I can't leave this money over here. Let me go do something different. Yeah. Question over here. Well, if you retired and you got your traditional IRA, if it doesn't have a huge tax bite on it, you could be okay. Because sometimes we have people transfer their money from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA. They pay the tax hit on it because they don't want the future monies to be taxed. So it depends on what the tax liability would be when you do look at something like that. Good question. Well, she's talking about she has a traditional IRA, okay? And she says, would it make sense to move it to a Roth IRA? I said, if the tax liability is not too high, then she could move it to a Roth IRA account. But if the tax liability is too high, just kind of leave it where it's at and take the money out periodically. Because what's going to happen is that once you turn age 72, 73, I think, it's got something called an RMD. That's called the minimum distribution, required minimum distribution, RMD. They're going to force you to take money out of your retirement account if you've never taken money out of it. The federal government is going to force you to take it out. because it's got to be taxed, and they got to collect on that. Called RMD. Good questions, good questions. Yes?
Okay, so you gave us a lot of information today. So, how long will this be on YouTube? Because I want to go back and, I need to go back and.
This thing. You've been there for a while for this thing. Yeah, go back and relook at it. You don't remove them? Okay, good deal. Good deal. Question over here.
So it doesn't matter like I worked for UCA when I was going through school and I ended up having a 401 then.
Uh-huh.
Even if it's, I really don't know how much
Uh-huh.
is in it, but I no longer work for them, have to go there.
It's just sitting there?
It's just sitting.
Yeah. Wait, you got another job now, right? Does your current job have 401k? In that situation, in all you guys' situation, roll that money from UCA 401k to your current 401k. Now, why is that? Well, the 401k has a lot of provisions for you to access your money. Sometimes you can access 50% of it for hardships and those kind of things. If she rolled that money over to her current 401k, first of all, it's going to add more money in the pot, so it's going to keep growing, right? Number two, it's going to allow her to access that money if needed without a whole bunch of penalties, which means if she had to make a loan against it, she can pay it back. But if it's sitting inside UCA's 401k, she's not employed there anymore, she'd lose all those privileges with that money. The money's just sitting there and growing. So you want to roll it over to your current employer. Yes.
So back to that. So if I'm with the state now and I have a pension, do you suggest rolling over to one of those accounts or?
Now the state's different. The state has a pension, plus they have the diamond plan, which is something separate. In that situation, you want to roll yours over to an individual IRA account that you control. Yeah, not inside the pension. Question.
That was, I think maybe off of that. So is that better? Because when I left one job, I rolled it over into a personal IRA and the Roth.
Yeah, what most people should do, I'm passing this on, most advisors won't tell you this. They want you to roll it over and let them handle it, so they can make money off it, right? But what you should do, if you got old 401ks laying around in different jobs and stuff, you need to consolidate them. If you got a current job, roll it all into your current job. You got it? So the money keeps growing, number one. Number two, it gives you immediate access back to it all over again. It's not locked up where you can't put your hands on it until age 59 and a half.
So Deacon Thomas, when you say it gives them access,
Yeah.
I want to make sure we're clear that when he's saying put it all in one lump sum, it's like, oh, okay, well, I had $25,000, but I got all the other money. Now, when I put it in one, it's $100,000. If it was in an IRA, anything I take out of that IRA, I'm taxed like that. But if I put it in that job with all of the $100,000 together, I could borrow from myself,
You pay it
right?
back, yeah.
Not pay tax or any of that stuff, and then pay myself back because all of it's in that one place on your job. Do y'all get when he's saying access?
Y'all get
That's
that?
what that means. Does that help?
Y'all getting that access?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's like Charles Schwab and stuff. In case of my demise, would they have someone set it up, be going to someone else, or do I need to get somebody else to do that?
Well, she's talking about setting up brokerage accounts with Charles Schwab and Fidelity. All those accounts are going to ask for beneficiaries. So on those accounts, make sure you put your beneficiaries in where it needs to go. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, my mom worked at Maybelline for like 40-some years.
Mm-hmm.
And she had my dad as beneficiary. But he died and she never changed it over. So is there something I can do with it?
Yeah, you need to change it right away.
Well,
She's deceased now? Who got the money?
she didn't ever change it.
But who got the money?
But the money still should have went to her estate. Right, David, am I right? Yeah, he's the attorney back here. Yeah. You need to check with, you got all their Social Security numbers and stuff, and when they work there, call them up and say, hey, look, I'm the heir to this estate. They left money here, and I want to know how much it is and what I need to do to get it. Yeah, absolutely. Good question. Absolutely. Good questions, guys. You guys have been a good class.
So what we'll do, Deacon Thomas, let's take a quick break.
Okay.
We got some food. We like to feed y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. We did some chicken.
All
I
right.
felt like chicken was gonna be you might be a little hungry. You got food in your mind, now you get some food in your belly. So we're gonna do that. If we could pray, and then as you get your food, kind of digest what you got today, get your other questions about anything. We'll be answering those, and then we'll close out for the rest of the day.
Absolutely.
What you,
One quick thing before you leave.
Okay.
Okay, Charles, this prop, I want to give all the team their props.
Oh,
We
yeah.
learned all 3 weeks.
Yeah.
A lot.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree. She's right. The team has been phenomenal, and I'm so excited to have these guys on the team. You know, because I know the succession planning side of it, it'll go for years and years. Even when I'm gone, it'll still be going. So that part excites me, that we got people that are willing to learn. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Where can you sow a seed? Oh, for this? Well, the discipleship ministry is ran by Pastor Thomas, and he kind of correlate all the funds and stuff to help people through the ministry. You know, so if you want to throw a seed, it'd be a good place to give him a check. I guess they make it out to $10. Yeah, you make it out to $10. This whole program goes through our CDC. If you guys didn't know that, St. Mark has a CDC called $10. It's a Community Development Corporation. That Community Development Corporation allows us to partner with other corporate clients like Arvest, like David and all those guys, Candace and her company. So that's a unique thing to do through the CDC. If you want, you can give to the CDC because they're always helping kids. We got a total program in the evening time strictly for kids through our CDC. That's funded by the state of Arkansas. So a lot of good work going on. Any other questions?
all right.
Hey, David, why don't you guys come up and say something before we get ready to shut it down and we'll get ready to eat?
We're not gonna shut it down.
Oh,
They'll-
okay.
Yeah, they'll come at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just
we'll
pray then.
eat.
Okay, pray for
Yeah.
some food. Okay.
We'll pray and then we'll eat.
All right.
And while we eat, we'll do
We'll talk.
full. Yeah.
All right.
Full blown.
Father God, thank you for this food we're about to receive from the nurse in our bodies. In your son Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Oh, that's a good prayer there. It's a real good one. All right. You all help yourselves to the chicken.